Okay. Two, three. Hello? Anyone there? Am I speaking to an empty audience? I sure hope not. If I am, I hope it populates really quickly. How are we doing tonight? Welcome everyone to what I believe is the preview stream for Fastest Furs, which will soon be live at FWA. If you don't recognize this voice, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sean Chiplock. I also go by Sonic Mega, VA Sonic Mega on Twitter, and I will be one of your two hosts tonight for this specialty stream. But we've also got a couple other people I need to introduce real quick. We've got Shockwave helping behind the scenes. We've got Cinders from FWA. We've got Lori D. Bunnykins also assisting with the program. We've got our runner tonight, Draconayr, who is going to be running Okami HD, new game any percent. And finally, helping me, my partner in crime tonight, we also have Captain Kate. Kate, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Hi! Hello! I am Captain Kate. You're more than welcome to just call me Kate. I know it's easier and shorter to type. But yeah, we are super excited to be here tonight. Starting off this run, I'm going to pass it over to Draconayr just so he can give an intro.
Hello! My name is Draconayr. I play video games fast. That's why we're here. And I was honored to be the preview run for hopefully the very exciting FWA in-person live event. And I'm really excited.
That's right. I actually believe in order to keep the hype going, you plan on just running this game non-stop from this moment until FWA starts, which is, I think, 3 weeks from now?
3 weeks out, yeah.
That's right. We're gonna play this game up, down, sideways. We're gonna do it with the wrong controller, the wrong console. We're gonna do it in sepia tone while "Don't You Forget About Me" plays on a constant loop in the background. You guys are gonna be so sick of this game by the time
It's not going to be a blindfolded streamer. You're all going to want blindfolds because you'll be sick of the game.
We've got one modded so that all the dogs are cats.
Oh, there's probably a mod for that.
Stray. That's just Stray.
I gotta buy the game on PC now.
We're gonna play it on the Commodore 64.
I bet it exists. All right, well, I'm ready to start. So if we want to start, the beginning of the game is really boring, so we can do our blurbs and stuff. And I'll start it on go if there's a timer ready. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so I know that we had also kind of glazed over Lori D. Bunnykins and Cinders, but now we can properly give them some attention. So, Lori, did you want to hop in and tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi. Quick introduction. My name is Lori, and I am one of the staff members at Fastest Furs, one of the people that's going to be helping bring it to FWA. I am the main person when it comes to the games committee here, meaning that I help lead the team that brought you the schedule of games that you'll be seeing live in Atlanta in a couple weeks.
How long does a process like that take? Like, do you guys just have to have, like, a roundtable meeting and, like, you're seriously asking, are you, like, agonizing for, like, 6 to 8 hours about where do we fit this? How do we slot this in? How long does that take once you have, like, all the submissions prepared?
So, yeah, we kind of do it, like you said, after submissions close. We'll have a meeting with the whole group, and we can make it a little easier. We get submissions in as people submit them, not all as once at the end, so we can look over them before they close. But once that's done, it's a matter of trying to make the best and most. Usually varied is a very good way to go at it, because you don't want to have a lot of games of the same genre or similar styles throughout the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then just trying to fit as many unique and interesting runs into however much time you have, which for this event was we had to fill 24 hours when for our usual event we're filling 60, so the cuts were really hard to make.
Have you ever had it happen where there was a game that you saw that was submitted where you had personal bias and you're like, oh, I haven't seen a run of this game in forever, and it just happens that it just doesn't work in the final iteration of the schedule and you have to tearfully say goodbye to it and hope to see it at another year?
Yes, that's definitely happened. Especially because as a team, you want to compromise, because my ideal schedule is a lot different from, say, and I'm going to shout out another leadership team member who helps with the games a lot, our friend Pods. Our two ideal schedules as individuals, very different.
Now, if you don't mind me moving on, we also have Cinders from FWA with us as well. Cinders, did you want to hop in for a bit?
Sure. So yeah, I go by Cinders for Life Choices. I've been a staff member with FWA for almost 15 years. I started as a volunteer. My very first year, I actually spent the entire weekend volunteering, and from there I joined MER staff, or event staff, and somehow worked my way into the game room. I've been managing the VGR for a couple of years now, but I've taken a step back, kind of to the side, really. So now we have two VGR coordinators, one who manages everything that happens at con, and myself, who reaches out to events like Fastest Furs or our new arcade vendor, Save Point. So that's my thing, is the outside versus the inside.
Very, very cool.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly we are previewing here tonight. So if you are not familiar with FWA, Free Weekend Atlanta, that is taking place in a little under a month in Atlanta, Georgia, and Fastest Furs is going to be there for 2 days, noon to midnight on May 12th and 13th, and we are going to be speedrunning a heck of a lot of games.
So not, if you enjoy seeing a game like Okami being speedrun, by all means go for it. Has the schedule, just to check, the schedule's been posted publicly, right? Like we know what's going to be. So there is all kinds of things. Like I just looking at the schedule during the event itself, we've got stuff like Pokemon Puzzle League being run on super hard. If you've ever played that game on anything harder than hard, you know how fast those puzzles, that wall is moving. And so to see that get speed run in, I believe, I'm trying to figure out how much time it needs. We'll figure that out. But seeing that be run, 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Have that be in 40 minutes is super fun. We've got Ring Fit Adventure, which I'm excited to see. I'm ready to see someone with a massively fit body just speedrunning Ring Fit Adventure at intensity 30. Spyro the Dragon, Spyro Reignited, Super Lesbian Animal RPG, which I have heard a lot about on Twitter. Hades, so many cool games that you're going to see run through at blisteringly fast speeds. But it's also going to be for a good cause as well, Kate, if you want to take care of that part.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Fastest Furs Live at FWA 2023 is going to be raising money for FWA's chosen charity, which is Animal Park at the Conservative Center. Animal Park is a nonprofit independent zoological park. It's located in Burlington, North Carolina, if anyone wants to start making plans to head out there now. Their mission is to educate people, care for animals, and advocate for species. They've been in operation for 24 years, supporting wildlife education and conservation. And if you guys want to check them out now, if you want to learn more about their mission and programs, you can visit animalparknc.org.
But probably the part that I'm the most excited about is I've been to FWA a couple of times, and I love the atmosphere of that convention so much. The staff genuinely care about the theming. I remember going when they had like a pirate theme, and they decked out the entire main stage in like a pirate ship paraphernalia, like a giant inflatable octopus. But getting on to the main point, I believe this is the first time that FWA or Fastest Furs is doing this event live at a convention. Is that correct? I'm trying to...
Yeah,
Lori, would you be able to comment?
For Fastest Furs, this is going to be our first ever live event.
And go ahead.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's just a really exciting sentence to say,
I just want to make sure of that, but like that alone has me excited because as someone who has been at, marathons of this type in person before, it is a special kind of experience because seeing the speedrunners perform these tricks and feats is cool on its own, but being there in person, especially if they happen to be running it in person and seeing them do it in real time and being there in the audience when it happens and everyone is reacting, both for the cool moments or the focused moments or the funny moments, it's a completely different experience. And I'm so happy that FWA is getting the chance to do this live. But for those of you who aren't able to come to the event in person, don't worry. We wanted to make sure we included you as well, which is why it is also going to be broadcast the same way that we're doing this preview stream tonight. This is also kind of a way to test, all the systems going on, all the programs being run, all the people hosting, so that we can make sure that you get the best possible online experience, even if you're not able to attend in person.
Yeah, and also, real quick, speaking of cool moments on stream, Draco, you look like you jumped over something you maybe should not have. Do you want to talk about
that is perhaps what happened. I've been quiet up to this point because we've been doing all the preamble, and I didn't want to interrupt anything. But that was the first trick of the run, so that whole beginning part is just getting all the initial brush skills. And that trick that I just did is actually the reason that I'm playing the game in Japanese, because the text goes faster. And what happens is if you bump that rock, your little buddy gets mad at you. And if you scroll through that text, there's one frame after it goes away where you can dash midair, and you're not supposed to. And if you hit it, you can dash and then just do a wall jump and jump over the rock and get out of the town early.
So by one frame, does that mean it's a frame perfect trick, or?
I believe it's 1 or 2 frames. I don't know enough to say for sure. But it's a bit tricky to get for sure. It took me a few tries to get that time. So
what got you interested in speedrunning this game specifically? Is it the art style? Is it a personal connection? Is it just because of how the movements work? Why this one specifically?
So this is one of my favorite games because of the art style and the music. Both are just beautiful. One of my favorite soundtracks, only beaten out by Kingdom Hearts 2. Wonderful game, and also the barking. I don't know if anyone's noticed. There is a bark button in this game.
Is it used for anything, or is it just for funsies?
It is used because at the end of combat, it's happened a few times now, there is a screen. Every time you do a combat, you get money, a reward from it based on your performance. And if you bark, that menu goes away faster.
That feels like a perfect donation incentive to add $1 to a cumulative donation amount during the actual event for every time you have to bark during the stream. Call it Bork Bucks.
There's a lot of barking. It's also barking brings up your HUD to look at your money, your health, because that will go away if you're not if you're just running around. And money is very important for the early parts of the run.
I like that. Barking brings up your HUD, and now I have this mental image of whenever my pet barks at me, it's actually bringing up a UI screen that only it can see and I can't.
If your dog barks at you, it's just checking its health. Don't worry.
It just needs to see how much money it's got.
Dog by Google Glass. Check Borks. Oh yes, I remember
true.
the check Borks.
I am the origin of the check Bork because I was making fun of the garbage Twitter thing.
Hey.
So we had someone in chat, Vim Deckless asked, is it playing specifically on Japanese that gives you access to that window of possibility, or is it possible in all languages, but Japanese is just easier or tighter, or what?
So, I think it looks like someone answered that already. I've been peeking at it, spying on you. But you can do that trick in other languages. Basically, the Japanese helps because the text goes faster, so you can get rid of it. You can perform your dash while you have more height. If you do it in English, for example, the text takes longer, but that doesn't stop your ability from performing that dash after the dialogue box goes away. You just have to do it from a lower height because it took longer to go through. So it's a bit harder to get the jump rather than actual performing the trick.
I just thought of a terrible pun based on that, if I can share that.
Feel free.
So what you're saying is people think that you can only do the barking in the Japanese language, but that's just one method.
Ooh.
I was thinking that physically hurt me.
What?
Oh, yeah,
I took
sorry,
psychic
Cinder.
damage from that.
If you guys aren't used to that, by the way, get used to it.
Oh dear.
That's right. For the low donation of $500, you can make me stop for the rest of that specific game.
However, I will warn all of you, Sonic Mega and I will also be at FWA hosting, and I do not know if you can stop him in person.
Right.
I have
Just
a
look
lot
for
of
the
gaffer's tape. A lot of gaffer's tape.
And I have a lot of time to get out of that gaffer's tape.
Oh dear.
Listen, how do you think my parents got me to sit still as a child? I've had many years to practice my Houdini escapes.
Cinders, I've not been to a con. I have a question. Do you usually stock chloroform rags as a staff member?
You see, what happened is, the short answer is no.
Okay, alright. I can probably fix that.
Speaking of stocking things, oh no, sorry, go ahead, Laurie.
For security reasons, I should specify, I will not do that.
No.
The disclaimer.
That's right. It's specialty branded chloroform. It smells like wet dog fur after a nice evening rain.
Mmm. Tasty.
Nice. So, for those of you who will be there in person and may want something to put your chloroform on, I don't actually recommend that, we're also going to have shirts. And I know everybody loves swag. So, if you're going to be there, just saying, there will be clothing. May or may not have the chloroform to put on said shirts. Maybe don't bring your own either. We don't want you getting kicked out.
We're gonna need a lot of disclaimers on this, aren't we?
It's a little bit of convention self-care. You walk around, you've had a long, exhausting day, you just kind of bunch your shirt up and take a big whiff, and you go right to sleep. Then you wake up for day 2, for good as new.
I'd like to take this moment.
Anyway,
FWA does not support the use of for 8 hours of sleep.
Notice how Okami pondered all of this before hurling themselves off of a cliff. I think that's the best response to this kind of conversation.
We're going fast. It's fine. It's fine.
You don't take fall damage in this game, right? There's no fall damage?
There is no fall damage in this game. There is
But
void
obviously-
out. It's kind of like Halo, where there's like death zones, but there's no actual damage you're taking.
If you are the dog, can you pet the dog?
You cannot pet to the dog, no, because we are in fact
Cancelled.
the dog.
I don't like it anymore.
Well, we can bork though, so it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, you're right. The board
yeah,
cancels
yeah.
it out.
You can feed the dog.
You can feed the dog.
So do you have a favorite skill, Draconayr? Like, out of all the paintbrush abilities, is there one that, even if it's not efficient, you're just like, oh, I love how this looks during the battle?
Is it not that one? Okay, that didn't work first time. There's a lot of brush skills in this game, and I don't know if I could pick a favorite, really, because they're all super cool and unique, and a lot of them are really for overworld stuff, too. Not all of them are combat specific. I think we're about to get the most useful one in terms of damage, and I'll be using this for the rest of the game, basically.
God, I love like the ink brush emphasis style. That's just it's not as obvious on some sections, but it's just present across the entire screen, and it's so cool.
It's super awesome. My favorite detail is the brush I use in combat is Amaterasu's tail. I don't know how many people realize that, but her tail is the brush
Oh, I love
on
that.
the brush screen. It's super awesome.
I have
When did this game come out? Go ahead.
Actually, oh, you reminded me. I'm gonna go first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's very convenient that we're doing this today. Yesterday was Okami Day. The game released 17 years ago, April 20th.
This is beautiful for a 17-year-old game.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I too like to launch random fireworks in order to open new paths.
Yeah, that's so we just picked up the cherry bomb, and we're gonna blow things up for the rest of the run.
Add
And
another
now-
disclaimer.
Yeah. Disclaimer, in the video game, only in the video game.
We're talking about the song.
The song. Cherry. That's actually my live split name is the Cherry Bomb.
Cherry. Okay, well, you're my new favorite person.
Oh, cool. It was that easy. Here's another skip. We're on our next big skip. So normally, basically what I've done in this area was I went and talked to the dude who wants me to hunt specific monsters because that forces it to be nighttime, and you can only get the cherry bomb at nighttime because fireworks. And then what you're supposed to do is go back to Shinshu or to the Kamiki village, the village we started in, do a bunch of other stuff, and then make our own platforms to get there. But if you do a well-timed wall jump, you can just skip that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Remember, Sean, when you asked Draco what his favorite brush skill is?
Mhm.
Yeah, he just skipped mine.
Oof. And you'll never see it. And now we're just gonna clip through this wall to bloom the tree. And now we're gonna get to some fun stuff.
That's right. Everything up to this point was just boring and routine, and we hate it, and we would never want to experience it again. Now we're allowed to have fun. This is our government allotted
we're doing
fun
interesting
time.
stuff.
Government allotted fun.
If you guys have been having fun prior to this moment, I need you to please reimburse us. We didn't budget for that much extra fun. If we run out of fun before FWA, we're gonna have to do this in pure monotone. It's gonna sound like the teacher from Charlie Brown, just womp 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 jump womp womp.
I'm gonna be on the host mic, sounding like Squidward.
Wow, glitching through the wall, daring, aren't we?
Yeah. This is called a brush adventure, and we will be doing this a few times. Oh. Please work. Hello? Game? There we go. Took a second.
This is the cool part to me, is like when you glitch out of bounds and you see like what actually exists of the game world, which often results in just seeing a 3D space created in a void, and you realize that when the game works as intended, you never see outside of the scope of what the game wants you to see. It feels like the world is vast and infinite when it's really just an instance taking place within a concocted space. I know it's difficult to explain, but it always wows me at how careful placement of camera angles and careful development of the space you're supposed to operate within creates the illusion of such a vast world.
It really does. And can I shout out one of my favorite parts of that? I want to shout out a game specifically, but I will also take this opportunity to shout out another Fastest First staff member who runs this game, Mr. Shasta, who you will also see at FWA.
Oh, Shasta.
He runs, or has run in the past, Metroid Samus Returns, and there are a few out-of-bounds glitches in that game. All of the out-of-bounds area are like neon colors that he's just navigating for like minutes at a time.
I remember seeing that. That was something else. But hey, to change tack for a second, Cinders, there's other stuff that's going to be happening in the games room at FWA besides just this, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of other tournaments. Because you asked me, I've forgotten what all of them are.
That's okay, because you can think about it while...
my brain just completely shut off.
I have so had that.
I remember a few, because I know I was interested in them as well. I know there's going to be games like Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I want to say Street Fighter 5?
Yes. That came as a big surprise for me. I didn't realize that it was that in demand, but my counterpart in the game room is Ashitaka, and he messaged me, he's like, we gotta do Street Fighter. I'm like, okay. Let's do it.
Atlanta's a huge fighting game city.
Why have we not had a Ring Fit Adventure tournament yet? In fact, why have we not had like DLC boss raids that you can co-op with up to 3 other people, and just all of you are sweating and grunting and doing intense exercises simultaneously?
Lori, maybe you can correct me on this if I am wrong. Is it true that either inherently or through incentive, our Ring Fit Adventurer will be in suit?
Yes, that is true for now. We are still a little bit worried because we do not want them to overheat and pass out.
Remind them, I will have them cut out of their suit with scissors. I'm not kidding.
I don't think you'll need to do that. we're making sure that like they are going to be healthy and safe for that.
I just like the idea of bringing in like a hose from outside and after each stage just hosing them down with about 15, 20 gallons worth of water, and they can just shake it off like a dog getting out of a mud puddle.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think our tech person would like us spraying the stage with water.
It's for the fans.
We'll bring fans.
No, the fans are for the Headless Lounge only.
Pursuit.
Draco, where is your brush right now?
I'll explain if I get it in a second. I guess I'll
Okay.
explain if I don't get it. I did it. Let's go. All right. So that is a very interesting skip. That
Prize
is
the bear
called...
too.
So I was focusing during that, that's why I was quiet. So that bear, that's a bear that likes to stand on balls. You saw him earlier. He stand on an acorn with Susano, and you can push a cabbage to him, and he likes that cabbage, and he'll stand on it. And there's a cutscene that plays. So what you can do is, if you do what I did, the little funny brush adventure, you can go to that grass spot, and you can use a brush skill to grow the grass, which also plays a cutscene. So the bear cutscene is 2 cutscenes, and in between them, it stops you from moving. And if you play a different cutscene during that, or it'll move me over to there, and then you can. It doesn't let you move because of the bear cutscene. And if you feed the rabbit, it'll break you out of that. And since you're still in that stasis, you can swim across the river, which has a cutscene sweeping you away. But that cutscene doesn't activate because you're in the stasis. So I just swam through the river. And we're going to go back to that area later, and we kind of just skipped the whole first dungeon.
How many are there in the game total?
That we're going to do? Not a lot.
Do you
Okami's-
also? Oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. Do you also run this game at the 100% run, or are you an any percenter only?
I only do any percent for this game.
Is that just because of the extra time commitment, or is that because you
Yes.
just... Okay.
It's a very long game, and doing the 100%, I don't got time for that.
3 hours is enough. You're capping it at
yeah.
that.
I will admit, when I see people that do games that are like 4 or 5 hours for a single run, and they get to the credits and they check their time, and then they just reset the console and start over again in the same stream, I'm like, you don't want a food break, a bathroom break, like some me time, play a game of solitaire?
Says the person who's streamed for how many hours straight?
Listen, Crystal Chronicles is its own entity, and I will not stand for this slander.
One more thing about the trick I did in the forest. So it's called Half Blue, and basically the reason it's so finicky is because if you saw, I had to break one of the torches, which respawns, and the torch pushes the cabbage into the bear while you're doing other stuff. So it's a very difficult trick, and I actually tried to do it during my Fall Fest run, and I failed. I missed it. But in this one, I got it, and I'm very happy about that.
Yay!
Very glad to see it.
Very, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, so I pulled it up. The current record for the Top Dog run, which this game's platinum trophy is called Top Dog, is 7.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
And yeah, no, that's incredibly broken. This game casually a lot longer.
I remember taking forever as a small toaster fox. It took forever to play this game. I loved every minute of it.
I like the idea of speedrunning a game where your playable character takes more bathroom breaks than you do over the course of the run.
Trying to think of a game where that's true. What's any game with a
The
bathroom
Sims.
It's true. All right, so now for a little bit longer, we're doing normal gameplay. We're gonna go talk to these moles, steal their cup. That's a secret tool we'll use for later.
So do we...
And then we'll
so
do
we
another
ha-
trick in a few minutes.
So if we have some time, I want to posit to everyone in this room, especially Kate, out of the schedule for FWA, what is the game out of all of them that you're the most excited to see the run of?
I mean, you already mentioned Pokemon Puzzle League, and I have a particular interest in that because I was absolutely awful at it as a child, so I want to see someone who's actually good. I'm also really hyped about Kirby, because I just love Kirby, because if you don't, you're wrong.
But that's okay.
Well, I don't know about that.
Wow.
I am very strong on my Kirby stance.
As someone who played both games on stream, and because it says no out of bounds, or I think it says no out of bounds and probably TA meaning time attack, I'm very interested in seeing Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, because even when you're not good at that game, see myself for reference, it is very good at making you feel like your movements are majestic, that you know what you're doing, you know, that you're good at gliding through the forest. It is very good at making you feel elegant and powerful when you're actually doing things correctly. So the idea that I get to see someone speed run that game in 33 minutes with all skills unlocked and actually be as majestic as the game makes it look, I'm very excited for that.
We'll also say that game has one of the best soundtracks of all time, in my personal opinion.
I have personal connection to it as well, because every so often I hear like a story, because I found out that there's a fair number of my voice acting colleagues that voiced characters in it, whether it was like the forest folk or the spider boss or stuff like that. And so learning about the behind the scenes process of the casting and the recording for that, and like how they achieved some of the vocal effects that they did, it just gives me even more reasons to love the game. So I have to make sure I don't miss that. What about you, Lori?
I was gonna say, Lori, come on!
So, I could be funny and go with Shockwave's in chat camp, or Shockwave in chat's camp of my most exciting run for me is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse for no reason, air quotes. But barring myself from answering my own run, I'm going to say that it's so hard, because again, I was one of the people that helped put the schedule together, and obviously all of these runs are really exciting. But if I had to pick one, oh, that's tricky.
You got a moment to think about it, because we're doing another trick.
Yeah, what is this trick you're trying to pull off right now?
Okay, so this area is locked off because there's a dad bird, and his daughter is kidnapped. And normally you have to go save the daughter at nighttime. But we don't got time for that. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna perform a very particular jump, and we're gonna stand on this hill over here in a second. If I can get the jump, this is a difficult one. I had trouble with this one.
This is the kind of
pretty
thing I did
consistently.
This is the kind of thing I would do in Chao Garden in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle all the time, and I learned how to out of bounds myself in one of those stages in particular, and I would just do it all the time because it was cool floating around in void space.
Yeah, this one's hard, but basically what we're gonna do is there is a top to that hill, and we're gonna force ourselves to go out of bounds, and we're gonna see our fun, cool first instance of a thing this game does quite a bit. Where if you fall out of bounds, all of the buildings in that area are also like in the same instance. So you can fall into buildings, basically. And we'll see that here in a second after I get this.
So it looks like, do you want us to give you focus time, or can I ask a question about this?
Go ahead, yeah, that's I can focus and talk.
So it looks like the part that we're having to reattempt is when you do that, you get across to the other side, and then you hop off the top of that cliff. Now, is this about a specific angle that you need, or do you have like a frame perfect? Oh, there we go!
I did get it.
All right!
See, I just had to distract you.
Yeah, it was funny. Just chill, and then it happens. So basically, you can get a certain angle, and there's like a bit of a clip where you can just land on that hill. And then if you do a dash jump, you can just kind of get around the out of bounds and then fall into the building as you just saw.
This is actually how I get home when I'm done with my work in the hills in California. I drive off the side and fall straight down into the valley, and I try to land in my parking spot. I've crushed someone else's car a couple of times, but that's just a cost of living expense in California. It's a write-off on taxes.
You know,
Sometimes you miss and void out and gotta try again. It's,
Yep.
it's whatever.
Dude,
Is that
that's
what
the
the
worst.
express lane is?
Yeah, it's the worst part when I've been in traffic for an hour and a half, and then I miss the final jump, and then I respawn back in Burbank, and I'm like, oh, come on!
That's unfortunate.
One time, the session ended at 3, and I didn't get home until 10:30 at night. No big deal.
So I think I have my run from the schedule that I want to shout out. Because I think it's really cool that we got one of these submitted at all to our live event. But for Metroid Dread, not only is that already a really cool game, but that is going to be our only race at FWA. So I'm super excited for that one.
I agree. Now, what is the Mercury Steam percent? Is that like a certain... Because that's the group that develops.
Yes.
That's the developers. So is that like you have to do it a certain way that the developers coded in? Or what is that?
Yeah, so there's kind of two subsets of that game. There's any percent, like, with no restrictions, and then no major glitches. And then Mercury Steam percent, I believe, is like another subset of kind of no major glitches, where it bans even more glitches, but there's still a bunch of, like, developer-intended shortcuts that get used.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it's, like, the most intended speedrun, I guess you could say.
My favorite part of when I streamed Metroid Dread was spending like 10-15 minutes trying to get an item and thinking that the way that I was doing it was how you're supposed to do it, and it was just very tight on the timing. Finally doing it, and then having chat go, yeah, so there's 3 ways to get this, and you picked the most difficult.
Yeah.
So...
I've never played Dread myself, but I've seen it a lot, and I love that in games.
It's a
like-
really cool game.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to be alive during this period in gaming, to get to experience the growth of the genre and the industry, and just all of the different options that we have. Like, even, like, my favorite genre is first-person dungeon crawlers, like team synergy, party-building type games. And even as early as 10 years ago, there weren't many options. And then, like, this year alone, there's like 3 different games in that genre all out or coming out that are just beautiful in their own right. So it's a great time for gaming. I'm so happy. I don't think we got your answer yet, Cinders. What about you?
As far as the games go, there's actually a few. Like, I love Kirby. Kirby is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't care which one. I remember when I was in 2nd grade, I had to make a deal with my mother because I was a hellion. And the deal was that if I was a good child for 50 days, I could have Kirby All-Stars. And that was the only thing that would make me a good person.
That's like 20 years in child time.
Exactly. I'm glad that you understand, because it took me a long time.
That's still like 2 months, and I'm impatient.
Well, I had to have this game, and the only way to get it was to be good. So that's how much I love Kirby.
I'm pretty sure my wife makes those same deals with me of like, if you can remember to do the dishes for 50 days, we can take a trip to Hawaii, and I'll fail on day 4. Like,
And that's why we've never been to Hawaii.
it's your fault.
It's true. If you do go, I recommend Maui. It's a beautiful island. I've been twice. It is.
I just came back from it, actually. I went to Waikiki, and I did surfing 2 hours before I left to go back home from the airport. And I learned the hard way that you should wear something to cover your chest when you're scraping against a surfboard for 2 hours straight.
That
Yeah,
sounds
sandpaper
fun.
technique.
It's okay. I read Calvin and Hobbes. It builds character.
True. But as for the rest of the games, Metroid is a big game for me. I love Metroid. In fact, I forced my The other person that streams with me on FWA stream, his name is Bud, and I made him play Dread, and I also demanded that he do the hardest route just so I could see it.
How'd they do?
Oh, they did great. They beat the game. I couldn't
perfect.
have done the hardest route, so that was why I was like, I can't do this. So I need you. I'm going to live vicariously through you and force you to suffer.
When we say hardest route, do you mean just like having to do things in the most difficult way, or I guess because I don't know the game for having routes. What do you clarify
So
that?
specifically, any I can't. How do I say this? Because I don't know any kind of actual speedrunning terminology, but the route through the game that is probably the most difficult, but it allows you to get some of the upgrades faster just by getting like one great example. You can go through a water stage much earlier than you normally would, which allows you to gain a more powerful suit faster. I know these are great descriptors that I'm giving, but it requires you to fight a boss that I can't remember the name of because I probably have brain damage. Oh gosh, it's the one you can one-shot if you use the speed boost by crushing his head.
See, my favorite trick that makes me feel like a good gamer is when I spend 10 minutes doing 30 perfect bomb jumps in a row to get to an upgrade on a ledge, and then I look up how most people do it and find out they just do wall jumps and it takes 4 seconds. But the point is, I did 30 perfect bomb jumps, and I'm proud of myself.
Pretty impressive.
We take those wins.
Bomb jumping is really cool in Metroid games. I love it because it's just like such a easy thing to think of to do, but really hard to do.
I love it's a psychological thing. Like as human beings, I mean, I know when we decide to pretend to be human beings.
Don't call us that.
We are in retail mode.
We have to fit into society somehow, okay? They're not ready for us. We are just like predispositioned to enjoy things that have a rhythmic beat or things that happen in time or like to a music tempo. And so it may take way more time, but when we perfectly time something 10, 15 times in a row and it feels like a metronome, we're like, oh, the dopamine. Oh, that feels good.
I also have to give Sean credit as the most accidental speedrunner ever, because he has this uncanny ability to break games early and in ways you would not expect.
Are you
or
talking
do
about
things...
Outbound Ghost or something else?
More than one thing. That's Outbound Ghost, but also I fondly recall you visiting and playing Shadow of the Colossus and finding the most convoluted ways to do things that somehow worked.
My favorite from Outbound Ghost was we had been playing for less than 5 minutes, and I found out a way to skip one of the locked gates that the game wants you to do so you can learn a tutorial mechanic, and like effortlessly I just skipped over it, and I didn't even know that I had managed to do it. So what are we trying to do right now? Let's
what we're doing is we're going around and getting all the dogs. I don't know why this isn't working. But basically the reason we did the skip earlier to go through that building is because there's a dog there that we fought. We were kind of chatting over it, but basically at some point the game wants you to go get these dogs to get their orbs. And there's a grass bloom here that we can get up here to quickly teleport back to where one of the dogs is at, and I'm messing it up.
Chat's saying you got to point your camera more towards the sky during the first rotation.
Okay, I didn't know that. Let's try it. Let's chat help in the middle of a run.
New strats. Let's learn them now.
Yeah,
Hey,
I did it the other day.
This isn't a tool-assisted speed run. Come on.
That's
Chat are my tools.
that's one of my favorite things about speedruns too, is just like sometimes you don't know why something works. And also like what you were saying about being accidental speedrun finder. Sometimes you do a run or you see a run and you're like, how did somebody find all the skips in this run?
That's
Sometimes they didn't do it on purpose.
No, that you bring up a great point. Like sometimes when I watch a lot of those summoning salt videos and like I see about how these times are reduced and then you hear about this new trick that was introduced and I just wonder like are there people that just make it like a work shift of like booting up this game and just trying everything on the off chance that it has a weird interaction? Like where do you even begin to check for potential exploits that you can do on a game like this?
There we go. Got it.
Nice.
Not the trick I thought I would have trouble with, but
Yeah, that's marathons though.
yeah, it happens. Whatever. I got the other one, and really that was my bar. To be fair, I got the half blue, and now the rest of the game is just going to be awful, but it's fine.
Come on, man, you were going for that dog's orbs.
Yeah, I really need the dog orbs. But basically the rest of the explanation I was doing earlier before I had to tool assisted chat speedrun. When you get 4 of the dog orbs, this guy shows up. 1, 2, 3, yeah, math. So if you get the one by clipping through early, this guy shows up early before having to get the last dog in this area, and then we're going to use him to teleport later.
What's your favorite breed of dog?
German Shepherd.
I like the resounding silence that happened.
No argument. Yeah, that's a solid choice. Yeah.
It's like, what's your favorite OC color? A blue wolf.
I don't know. You asked a question and I answered it.
That's true. That's true.
He did his
I
job.
answered the question.
I would love Pomeranians, but I haven't met a Pomeranian that doesn't have an attitude yet, so I have to go with Rottweiler. Rottweilers I really enjoy.
Well, there was the teleport that happened. So once you beat that dog, all the other ones show up. But since we haven't fed that dog yet, we can use that to cheat.
Cheating?
Cheating. I don't know if it accomplishes anything. I'm not gonna lie. So a lot of what I know is learned after I learn the run, because what I do is I just watch the world record and then copy them. That's what I do to learn speedruns.
That's okay. Listen, there's a mobile game that I play that until recently would have time attacks, and that is exactly what I would do. I would just wait until people in other countries were posting these super fast times. I go, okay, what did they do to get that time? Okay, they need these units. Okay, they did this, and then I would just copy it. So that's valid. I don't
exactly. I don't go for world records. So I just copy what the best person does, and then I have my own personal goals, and I'm like, okay, cool.
That's really cool.
And then I move on with my life. And we're about to get to a big trick. Remember when I said that we're not going to do a lot of dungeons in this game?
Right.
So we're gonna go back to that first one we skipped. We will go back there because we have to.
You liar.
I'm not finished yet. This was the first big skip I learned. This is the city checkpoint, and typically you have to finish the whole first act of the game before you can do anything here. Because of this phoenix statue that is there will be on fire if you do that. But we're not doing that. In fact, we're gonna abuse the geometry, and we're gonna skip that whole dungeon and basically the whole second half of the first act of the game, and we're just never gonna do it.
Oh. Well, that seems reasonable.
Yeah. It's basically like a half hour of stuff that we're just like skipping. A speedrun half hour, not a casual half hour. And I'm gonna get it first try because I said so. Yeah, because I'm kind of a prodigy.
Very much a big deal.
Yeah, that one didn't count. That wasn't a real try. But basically, what we're
it's practice tries.
So close. Basically, that's what we're doing. Is we're abusing this rock to jump up there and using some sick movement to just skip all of the second half of the first part of the game. This wall is very difficult with me pretty consistently.
I would be way more interested
And there it is.
in. I would be way more interested in hobbyist rock climbing if this is how they did the rock climbing.
Yeah, just jumping on rocks and then
On all
sliding.
fours.
Yeah.
Listen,
In suit.
if I could go to a gym and watch people wall jumping off of the cliff faces, I would just pay for a ticket and I would just chill in the gallery and just watch people do that all day.
The gallery of the rock climbing gym.
Oh, I barely have
Everybody would be
enough
way
money.
more into sports if you could double jump in real life.
It'd
So-
be like one of... Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, we're in the second part of the game now, and it's very important. I said earlier money was important, and that's because we're about to buy the double jump. And the double jump costs 20,000 yen. And I have 20,040. So that's why money's important. Typically, I don't cut it that close, but that's the world we live in. Continue, you were saying something.
Oh, no, I heard that during development, they were considering a power-up that would let Amaterasu float like a balloon, but then they realized it would cost too much because of inflation.
Why are you like this?
Why are you the way that you are?
If I can hop in real quick, speaking of money, for those of you who are not here at the start of stream, I do want to shout out the charity that our FWA event is going to be supporting, which is the Animal Park at the Conservators Center. The Animal Park is home to over 70 animals. They represent many different species around the world. The park believes that people are more likely to become invested in conservation and wildlife preservation for species after meeting them. I can say firsthand, this is absolutely true. I have had the pleasure, not there, of meeting several really cool animals, and it has only made me love them more. So if any of you folks are interested in learning more about the park's animal ambassadors, please, 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 I implore you to check out animalparknc.org/about/residents. There are really cute photos.
They have servals. I'm so happy. I love animals so much. And then that's just probably a good segue for me to hop off and talk about the sponsors as well, because I believe that Fastest Furs will also be partnering with Walking Dog Records to bring the best in both music and gaming as they raise money for Animal Park. So they're going to have all kinds of tunes from Walking Dog Lo-Fi, Future Bass, and Chill Hop during the intermissions during the weekend event as well. Chill Hop being especially meaningful to me. I had a friend introduce me to that channel about half a year ago. I have lost count of how many times I have fallen asleep to Chill Hop streams because of how enjoyable, relaxing, soothing the music is. And here's the cool part. The music is for Walking Dog Lo-Fi, Chill Hop, and Future Bass, the music is 100% DMCA free for use on your own streams. You can check out @WalkingDogMusic on Twitter if you want to learn more, but I cannot recommend them enough, especially for Chill Hop as well. It's just good vibes all around. It's incredibly good stuff. So who's your favorite enemy in the game?
That's a good question. I'm
I'm glad I'm asking good questions as opposed to bad ones.
Top quiz
not-
night.
not gonna lie. Since starting the speedrun, there's a lot of enemies that you don't see. So it would be hard. I think my favorite enemy is a boss. That's probably. Is that allowed? Am I allowed to do that? Is that cheating?
Sure, of course.
Okay. It's probably Ninetales.
-2.
Because they are also using like brush technique. It's definitely the most unique of the bosses. It's probably my favorite fight.
Have you considered speedrunning other paintbrush based games like Chicory?
I have not. No.
Have you played Chicory?
I have never heard of it.
It's very good.
It's very I caught the tail end of a stream of it the other day, and this game is just making me think of it constantly. So I don't know. I thought I would bring it up and tell you should check it out sometime.
Is it all the walls and out of bounds that I'm doing? Is that what made you think of it?
No, it's because they wield a paintbrush, they
It's
color
a
in the
dog
world,
paintbrush.
and it's a dog. Yep.
This feels like a lead up to the if I had a nickel for every time there was a game about a dog wielding a paintbrush, I would have 2 nickels sort of joke.
Which isn't a lot,
Isn't
but
a
it's
lot,
right.
but
That was such a good follow-up to that.
So you're out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm doing it again. So we did it in the last area to fall into the dojo to get the double jump. Now we're doing it again to fall into a building. We're in the city, which is covered in smog and a little curse. And this building that I just out of bounds into doesn't exist yet. So we went out of bounds to break in early to get a brush technique that we'll need. And this is what the cup I took from the moles was to get this.
I love that it's canonical in this game that when you learn a new skill, you're brushing up on your techniques.
Nope, stop.
Okay. Cease. You-
Ban the host!
Everyone that I pull off makes me more powerful.
You need to be stopped.
this is why we can't have nice things.
I actually have a question about the trick you just did and the technique you got real quick, just from a I don't remember this game's mechanics too well perspective. Yep. So if I recall correctly, each brush technique you get in this game also has a few upgrades to go with it, and the one you just got is like an upgrade to a original technique I'm not sure if you have yet.
Correct.
Does it still work perfectly fine?
Yes. So the way each of the brush techniques upgrades are considered as like different skills. So the one I got was the fire burst, which is based off of the fire. I forget what the fire brush that you get in the moon cave, which we have skipped entirely. So I don't need the fire technique to use the upgrade because it's still the same god that gives you the skill, so it just like works. It's not built on top of the previous one, basically. It's not progressive.
That makes sense.
For all you randomizer terminologists.
I love that this NPC is getting frustrated for you each time you have to reattempt the trick.
Well, I'm scaring him as I jump by.
Listen, if I went to Japan and this was happening while I was trying to enjoy my time at the park, I would feel the same way.
I would be cheering the dog on.
And this white dog kept jumping off trees.
This trick tends to give me some trouble too.
Imagine going to Nara and the deer, instead of bowing
This
for
is
biscuits.
exactly what I was gonna say!
And instead of bowing for biscuits, the deer are just like ricocheting off boulders and trying to ram into you to knock the treats out of your hand.
There we go.
They're trying to knock into you
Once in India.
It's like the cuckoos from Legend of Zelda, but worse.
I don't know if we can get much worse than those. Nightmares.
Also, you mentioned the moon cave, which is part of the things you skipped when skipping the big city checkpoint earlier. I have a follow-up question about the moon cave and Sean's earlier questions about enemies in this game. Do you fight Orochi 10 times?
So, okay. So you fight Orochi initially by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of the legend is the swordsman, which you don't have at that point. And then he shows up, so you fight him again. So it's at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fight him again at the end during the boss rush. So you fight him, I think it's 3 times.
Okay.
As you're messing around with Orochi.
Because I know he's in the moon cave, and I remember fighting him a totally normal amount of times.
It's not excessive, but it is a few. He also shows up for other bosses as like the quick time event with Susanoo.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up a few times, but he's not like a boss fight when that happens.
Yeah, of course. Also, did you drag a security guard away from his post so you could bonk off of him and skip a cutscene?
Yes, that's exactly what I did, actually.
I
was going to say that, but I was saying the other thing. But yes, that's exactly what I did. And now we're going to get to probably the hardest skip for the route that I use. This is the tablet skip. And normally, you would go off to the side, talk to the Emperor that's sick, and get a tablet that lets you swim through this lava. But instead, we're going to do some setup here. and just jump over it on the first try.
Nice.
Which I did not do last time.
That is what it is, though. If you say it's the hardest trick you have to pull off, you will get it on the first try. If you preempt it with, I get this every time during a marathon, you will not.
It's the reverse of saying this is the run and then doing worse than any other attempt so far that evening.
Yep. So that jump is very, very tight. And basically what the setup is like falling at the right spot so that you can start going forward and have the right momentum. And then you want to jump at the last second. There's 3 frames you can jump. And then you brush buffer. So you brush while you're moving. Whoops, I did that jump early. You brush while you're moving to... basically, whenever you brush, it advances. Whenever you brush, unbrush, and then brush again, it advances the game about 2 frames. So you want to use the brush to buffer so that you can let go of your jump at the right spot and have the perfect like inputs to jump across the gap. And it's very, very hard.
I mean, I understand why you had to get it right on the first try, because otherwise we would have had live documented animal abuse from you, and I didn't want you to have to
The dog falling in lava. Well, in my fall run, I needed support from the whole chat borking to get it. It took a hot minute.
He's got it. He's learning.
But I spent actually when I learned that I would be doing this run, I spent a day, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it over and over again until I nail it, and here we are. And I think that's probably at this point my most consistent trick, because I wanted to impress everyone. Please be in awe, because I worked really hard on that. Thank you.
Please clap, chat.
Yes, clap. Everyone clap. Actually, Bork.
Please, Bork. Oh, yeah!
Please, Bork.
This is what happens when there's a bunch of us in here. We all just eventually share one brain cell by the end of it.
We're all just the same.
We need to make sure we take turns.
Please give him a round of applause.
Nope.
Can we get
Take the brain cell away.
Did the checkbork situation, I think, eventually led to one of the games. They put checkborks on the overlay all over, and then I think it's an emote too, right? I think we should get some borks in the chat.
Base checkwork is actually our sub badge.
Oh, it's a sub badge. Okay,
but in the server, we have a bunch of Pride ones. Also, yes, there was a game where checkborks went all over the overlay. That was mine.
I thought it was my game, so I was looking for it to show my friends, and I didn't find it. And I thought I gaslit myself. I didn't know. I was I guess I imagined it.
There we go. Now we can get some more checkborks.
Hey.
No, perfect. It's on Splatoon 3, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go find it. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the closer.
Yeah. And now we're doing some normal stuff. We're about to do the part that hurts my thumbs. I'm sure you all remember the cat tower.
Oh no.
Yep, we're doing that. I haven't learned how to skip that yet, so get ready for some controller clicky clacks. But otherwise, just normal gameplay for now.
My bad. The checkborks aren't sub emotes, but if you have the Frankerface Z browser extension, we have all of them there.
No regrets. I'm still happy to support the channel.
No.
Sorry about your wallet.
And then I want...
Just call me Elon Husk.
I will not.
No!
Laurie said no!
No. Your joke was denied.
Humor removed. Try again in 5 minutes.
Humor removed. Had to save the frames. Couldn't keep the humor.
You gotta make sacrifices sometimes.
All right, we're gonna meet our best friend Orca.
Yes.
He's ready for Orca, the best friend.
I love
There he
Orca.
is.
Absolutely, yes.
Whoops, gotta talk to him. Hello.
Oh, he looks so peaceful.
I
is
immediately
Precious
love him.
He is Precious Bean. And he's just he's sailing us away. I'd sing, but then we copyrighted, so I'm not gonna do that. Also, no
glad
one
he-
wants to hear that.
I'm glad he has a porpoise in this game.
He does.
The sharp exhale.
All right, we're gonna do
Draconayr's gonna
another-
finish faster, so there'll be fewer Sean puns overall.
That's
See,
that's.
I'm contributing to the cause. Also, I like the nickname of Borka that we have in chat right now.
Borka! I can't believe I've
Borka!
never thought of that. I will never think of him the same. All right, we're gonna do a tiny little enemy skip. Normally, an enemy spawns here. We're just gonna run around him, and now we get to climb the tower, and this will take like 2 minutes. So,
Did you know that actually, during the original website of this game, that Borka had his own character bio?
I'm scared.
Oh,
I'm
go
afraid.
on.
Is this real or?
No.
Yeah, he's from Wales.
Oh wow! Oh, I'm so upset about this.
that was a big setup for like. I feel like that was an average amount of what I expected.
Oh no, Shockwave has come in to officially put an end to the puns.
We've gotten some complaints. You gotta stop.
Did he come in specifically to groan and then leave?
I hope so.
That sounds like something he would do.
So wait, what are you climbing on in the tower? Is it?
Cats.
So this is actually the ability we'll get. It's a cat wall, a little like sticky. It's a sticky paw wall.
Okay.
That's
Also,
basically
just-
just a wall climbing ability.
Just to make it official before Sean tries to make the joke thinking he's original, the ability is called Catwalk, right?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
There you go. Made
So
the joke for you.
This isn't like an in-universe explanation. It's just, hey, we're highlighting which part of the wall you can walk on.
Yes. I think you're painting the god's power that lets you walk on the wall.
Okay.
So it is like that is a different type of wall, but it's because I have willed it and am a god.
You know, as you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm a god. I can do whatever I want,
Yeah.
and I want to bork.
Borks for the Bork God.
Cat.
I love that you walk up on it just vibing.
commentary.
We need that as an emote, just the cat wiggling on its back.
Just the animated cat wiggle.
Listen, I've seen that gif of the dude dancing at the supermarket way too often. We need a new emote for when people are jamming out to good music, and it needs to be that cat doing the back wiggle.
That's actually a really good idea. All right, we have catwalk, and now we leave. Now we're gonna go back to that dungeon I skipped earlier. And we're gonna do some fishing. Who likes fishing?
Oh, yes.
I don't think a game can call itself a game if it doesn't have a fishing mini game.
I agree.
That's why Link's Awakening is my favorite Zelda.
Thank you.
Minigame.
Thank you.
I guess it's not the only Zelda with a fishing minigame, but I think it was the first.
Isn't it like you genuinely can't finish the main side quest, the big one, unless you do the fishing?
Well, okay, there's a fishing minigame that gets you a piece of heart, and then there is a part of the trade quest. You give someone a fishing hook, and they fish up a necklace for you.
I don't know if that
always-
counts.
I always forget that quest is actually mandatory if you want to finish the game, unless you brute force the code to the egg.
Well,
you have to.
random fun fact: if you don't check the book that tells you the egg code, it's always the same.
That is interesting.
That book generates the code, and there's a default if you never generate it.
That's interesting.
Amazing.
I love when games do stuff like that.
That is, it's Schrodinger's code. Like,
Well, it is. That's awesome.
Cinder's got the live translation going into Japanese back there.
Oh crap! Hold on.
I only watch the original Japanese sub of the Okami speedrun. I don't listen to the English dub.
Sub's not dumb.
It's superior.
Wow, we're about to have this conversation. I did not expect this to happen.
Don't you literally do dubs?
Yeah?
Isn't that your job?
Listen, whether you watch it in English or Japanese, you're still supporting the industry. I don't care. By watching it in Japanese, you are supporting the budget that lets them hire English voice actors.
All right, it happened. Mark the time. It's not a Draconayr speedrun if I don't accidentally take a screenshot in the middle.
Memories.
Yeah, now I'll forever remember the fishing. Let's take another one just for fun. There we go.
Raise your hand in chat if you have ever gone to take a screenshot on your Nintendo Switch and you went to the home menu instead because you pushed the wrong button.
Oh no.
It's usually me just taking screenshots of random things. I'm like, I gotta do this. Screenshot? What? No.
I don't remember who right now, but I know there's a YouTuber I like where whenever they accidentally take a screenshot with their Switch controller, they'll just spam the screenshot button for the next, 3 seconds.
Man after my own heart. So, is there a specific reason why this is being run on Xbox Series X of all consoles?
Because that's what I have.
Oh.
The most valid reason of all.
Very technical. That's all.
I want to say, on leaderboards, you guys use the in-game timer, right?
Yes, leaderboards use in-game time, which it shows you after you beat the final boss.
That is not the answer I expected, but
I don't know what you wanted from me. The game acts, as far as I'm aware, acts pretty much the same on the consoles, except I think on PC, it's harder to do the tablet skip, so the lava jump that I did. I think that's harder to time, because you can't do the brush buffer. Or something. If anyone, so I think I saw someone in chat that knows what they're talking about more than I do, so correct me if I'm wrong.
I want to say I know something silly about version differences, but I'm not 100% sure.
As far as I'm aware, that's the only difference that I can think of.
I want to say specifically PS2 doesn't let you skip cutscenes in New Game.
Oh, that's okay. I wasn't thinking between the HD and the original.
Oh, that actually
because there are differences there.
Yeah, yeah, those are different games. I'm being silly.
Yeah. Okay, next trick. This is a fun one. This wall. Whoops.
Is a wall.
It is in fact a wall. We're gonna plant a tree, and then this wall is gonna be a suggestion. I just clipped into the dungeon without using the key to open the door, so we don't need that. Dang it.
I knew trees were important.
Trees are very important, and we're about to do a very similar thing again. Trees are very useful for just, breaking things, apparently. And normally, you're supposed to go over there to the left, and go all the way through, this whole loop-de-loop dungeon. But we're gonna use a tree, and we're gonna not do that instead. We're gonna go to our friend Blockhead over here. He's a friend. We like to chat with him, and he is very, very dedicated to his job, and we're gonna use that against him. This one's a lot more precise than the last one.
I remember hating these enemies in the original game because I have a terrible memory.
Oh, some of them get hard. Like there's more than
Yeah.
one, and they get really hard.
I think like eventually, because like this is, I know I'm gonna scare a lot of the chat here. When this game came out, picture phones were not the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2006.
Like I did not have a smartphone. I had
There it is.
I had a Nokia. I could kill people. But
Wow.
yeah, have you ever hit somebody with a Nokia? No, because you'd be in jail for murder.
Exactly. So we got it there. We clipped inside of Blockhead and then beat him up from the inside, and then he exploded. As I said, exploding things for the rest of the run. And that skips like half of the dungeon, including a chase sequence with a bridge that's falling. So we just said nah. And now the rest of the dungeon is pretty normal. Normal asterisk.
Normal plus.
Yeah, it's as normal as it can be when you have brush techniques from like way further than you should be at this point.
This claim has not been rated by the FDA.
The Fast Dog Association?
Yes.
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 Has it been rated by the FWA?
I think
Send it?
technically I am.
You could do it right now.
right now.
Commit rating.
Commit. Is it like out of how many?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll give it 4 paws up.
Let's go.
That's a maximum rating. It's out of 4 arbitrarily for no reason.
I have 4 paws? So
I imagine saying that while looking confusingly, like, I have 4?
Looking at this, like how
My-
many?
These hands.
any other staff member can confirm I don't know how to count.
That's why cats get so still when you put them on their back. They see all their feet and go, "Wait, there's 4?"
Oh no.
I've only been grooming using 2.
You ever watched a cat kick themselves in the face? 'Cause
Yes.
that is
It's
my
quite-
favorite. I love
it-
cats.
I feel bad because it's entertaining, but it is entertaining.
I have a cat at my job who did that today, but that cat hates me and hisses at me all the time, so I
Aw.
thought it was funny.
My roommate has 3 cats. They have names, but I call them Fat Kitty, Fatter Kitty, and Baby.
Okay,
Those are all appropriate.
I was getting worried about if the names were inappropriate.
They're just like 2 of them are very big, and then one of them, she is a runt, and she has literally no eyeballs. Yeah, they are gone, and she is my favorite, and she has discovered that if she yells loud enough, I will come downstairs to check on her, and that is her opportune moment to jump on the top of the couch and wait pets.
That's how they get you.
Master manipulators.
Yes, absolutely.
So because she doesn't have any herself, she made you her pupil.
Basic. Oh wow. Okay. You know, I don't think anybody is banned from FWA, but
Surely there's
It's
somebody.
not too late.
Sean, you blindsided them with that joke.
No!
Oh,
two
no.
people.
They're gonna
Okay,
put me
got
on
it.
eyes, you guys.
I don't get that one.
I think like ice, but eyes.
I don't know if it makes sense.
Man, I should have
That's cold.
sclared that one.
There you go.
That one, I get the joke, but it also. Did you know
Really
that we're
bad.
going to be in the same room in 3 weeks?
Oh no.
Once again, letting security know. It'll
I
be
think it's
fine.
2 weeks.
No, this is why Lori's gonna look up when my shift is and then make sure they just stay in their room for that shift. They're like, I'm gonna work remote. It's fine.
Oh no, I'll probably be in the game room a lot of the time.
No, she's gonna schedule her greeter shift specifically for your shift.
They're gonna stand behind me with one of those comedy fans, and anytime I open my mouth longer than I'm legally allowed to, they just smack me in the back of the head with it.
I'll sit behind the host desk with the soundboard.
you just bleep out anything besides the bare necessities.
You'll say something, and I'll hit you with the incorrect buzzer.
Hey, I forgot to grab this earlier, so we're just gonna grab it now. For money purposes.
My favorite.
Is that a screaming frog? What is that?
That was a person.
Oh, it was like the little icon in the lower right looked like it was like a purple frog with its mouth wide open.
Don't worry about it. I can't picture in my head what you're describing for some reason. So
I'll have to clip
yeah,
it.
I send a screenshot. Picture it didn't happen. I don't.
You know, casual screaming frog.
On this
It
gracious day, we are all screaming frogs.
Frogs tend to scream sometimes. The screaming frogs are hilarious.
I've seen that one video of the frogs fighting.
Oh, I have not seen videos of frogs fighting. I should investigate.
It's these two frogs that are like, I think they're doing their mating call, and they're near each other. And then they just get into a slap fight.
Is that...
It's like a very, like, normal slap fight, you know? Like, it's not like frog fighting, it's almost like watching two people fighting, except they're frogs.
Alright, unfortunately, it's time to go fight the good boy.
Oh no.
And it's time to beat up the last dog. Hello, dog.
Okay. I'm gonna. Where can I post this that I can then link to it? All right. I'm gonna post this to a friend. Okay. I'm gonna link this in chat, and I want you to guys. I'm gonna make sure I'm posting the right link. Hold on.
Please.
I'm gonna link this in chat.
Womp.
How awkward
And
would that be?
I want you to look at this icon and tell me that from a distance it doesn't look like a purple frog with big bug eyes screaming. Okay.
What a descriptor.
Take a look at it. I'll post it.
It does.
I get it. I do.
He's going, meh.
Man.
Oh man.
I hope I can find a moment to take a look myself. As the runner, I need to validate
frog.
this through the council.
See, chat agrees with me. I am validated right now.
You were allowed a
Just-
seat on the council, but we did not recognize.
Save someone. I'm gonna go into Paint 3D right now and crop it out so that we can make it an emote. The screaming frog.
Oh, that's the item that I picked up.
Yeah.
That's the ink stone. Okay.
It looks like a frog.
I don't know if I agree, but I also know what the item is, so perhaps a disconnect.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, this is working great. We are about to have a screaming frog emote.
Oh dear.
I can't guarantee anything.
Every time I play a game on this channel, a new emote happens.
Oh, I am so happy with myself right now.
I can't guarantee anything.
Transparent canvas. Save as.
In real time.
Yes.
I love
Anyone
it.
anyone who's been on my streams knows this is what I do.
Speed running emotes, any percent.
Art does not wait.
Here you go. Here's your screaming frog.
What am I looking at?
There you go. There's your screaming frog emote.
Great.
Oh
we're
my
going.
goodness.
To Pocket Pass. Okay. I almost went to the wrong place. I have to sometimes when I talk out loud, it's just to remind myself where I'm going next. So if I'm talking quietly, just ignore me.
Ignore me.
Yes. But now we're doing a lot of running around, as is the norm for this part of the game. There's lots of back and forth because we went to the ruins to get the vine ability, and now we're going to the Gale Shrine now that we've gotten all the dogs for the Gale Storm ability. So it's a lot of just like collection right now.
So if it's not the frog item, which is definitely a frog, by the way, what is your favorite item in the game?
Actually, so on New Game Plus, if you collect all of, or there's a lot of different skin items, and you can change your skin, and it's actually used for the speedrun because it lets you do a weird jump that I don't know about because I haven't learned it. But there's like 9 different skins you can put on your dog, and it's probably one of those. And you get them. There's different requirements, like get all the stray beads, collectibles, and stuff like that.
Nice.
So one of the skins for sure. Otherwise, it's probably the biggest damaging scroll, which you're gonna see a lot of for the second half of the game. Okay. That's what money is going to go towards right now, actually. Not right this second, but any money I get from here onwards is going to be used to buy scrolls to just melt through bosses and enemies.
I have a follow-up question about items. This is kind of a two-parter, I guess. So, this game, you have that default, like, little reflector on your back, but this game does actually have a weapon system. Are you ever going to be switching weapons, or do you just stick with that
Nope.
one?
I actually lie. I will switch weapons, but it will not be by my own accord.
Oh, true. Okay. My follow-up question, though, when you play this game casually, or how long ago you did, if you haven't recently, what's your favorite weapon, like, type to use? Because on top of the reflectors, there's also, like, beads and swords, I think?
Yeah, definitely the glaives. The glaive swords are super awesome, and a lot of the glaive swords actually work with your brush skills. For example, there's a lightning skill where if you have lightning, you can drag it and shock enemies. And one of the swords emits lightning, and you can use that as your source of lightning, which is super cool. That probably might be my second favorite, is the lightning sword, because it's super awesome.
Because I remember really liking the beads, but I played the Wii version of this game, so I would just wag my Wii remote.
Oh yeah, I remember
That's
doing
hilarious.
that. I also have the Wii version, and I remember doing that a ton, and it was very fun. The beads were fun. The beads are really strong if you use them in a particular way. Like, it just shotguns enemies. In the beginner route that does go through the moon cave, you do get the beads, and you just use it as your sub-weapon and just destroy enemies because you upgrade it. And it's just crazy strong.
That is a terrifying enemy.
Also had a sub-weapon system. This game is so much. So, with this little bit of quiet space, I actually have a question I want to launch to you, Cinders. So, you got approached a while ago, I don't even know how long ago at this point, by Blaze, asking about bringing an event like Fastest Furs to a convention.
Yes.
What was your response when you, like, first got that message?
It was hell yes.
Enthusiasm.
Seriously, it was really nice to be contacted about somebody who wanted to do it, because we already wanted to do it. It's just, we're all volunteers, and I love speedrunning. I'm not a speedrunner. I love video games. I'm not any kind of, like, expert at any of them. I'm just a gamer. So when somebody contacted me, it's like, hey, there's this thing that we didn't know you really wanted, and we really want to do it. I'm like, yes, finally! I don't have to do any work.
They came to me.
The same level of excitement as when someone cancels plans at the last second and I don't have to go out anymore.
Oh, 100%. Oh, the best feeling in the world. But yeah, I mean, as FWA, like almost every other furry convention, we're 100% volunteer. So any time I spend on FWA is my own personal time. So, you know, it was just really exciting that somebody reached out and they want to do things, because we're always looking for people to do anything. So
And seriously, a shout out to all the technicians, to all the IT people, to all the sound engineers and people working in the background, the stream techs, and everyone responsible for helping an event like this run. I know that, you know, we have the runners and the host, you know, Kate and myself, helping to bring the hype to the event. But this would not be happening if it wasn't for everyone behind the scenes, making sure stuff was working, making sure the audio sounded clear, making sure video was working. It's 100 different hands just so that, you know, a runner can be on screen being able to showcase this for everyone. So I want to give like a virtual round of applause to everyone who donates their time, their effort, their expertise to make something like this possible.
That is like one of my favorite things about this community too. Well, two communities, speedrunning community and the furry community, is that people are so passionate about this, about the charities that we help out, that so many people are willing to donate that time. So I love that.
They want to make cool things happen, and then their almost immediate thought is, how can I share this with everybody else? And that is so heartwarming to me. It was either FWA or Shockwave's living room for our first live event.
I could have gone to Shockwave's living room.
I'm sorry that FWA has let you down.
Yeah.
No.
I think it was because you guys mentioned me hosting, and he went, absolutely not. He's not allowed to know my address by any means necessary.
I don't even think Shockwave would let me in his house. He might.
It's actually, they originally chose Shockwave's house, but none of them had met in person. So when they actually went to his house to knock on his door, he answered it, said no solicitors, and then closed and bolted it. So
You actually... Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say you have to bring I think it's called a pittance, like an offering. Yeah.
You have to bring your share of the rent.
We have an awesome question in chat. Sean, you want to explain?
Wait, am I explaining the question? No, you set that up like you were gonna handle it, and then you just passed it off to me.
Well, because I talked about it the first time. I want you to do it this time.
All right. So yeah, so how it's gonna work is I'm gonna read this question. So how is it going to work? Is it going to have a live audience in a room dedicated to it all weekend long? And then I'm gonna pass it off to Lori.
Okay.
That was funny.
Thank you. So we're going to be in the FWA game room from noon to midnight on Friday the 12th and Saturday the 13th. And the event will be live there. And then we'll also be streaming it to our Twitch channel, to this Twitch channel you're watching right now, in case you can't make it to FWA in person but still want to see the runs.
For those at the event who also aren't just able to be in that room, whether for social anxiety reasons or other reasons, do you guys know if they secured, because does FWA have that thing where they can like port panels and stuff to one of the television channels in the hotel rooms?
And that's where I'll pass this question off to Sindus.
So I have always wondered that myself, and really what it boils down to is there is almost nothing the hotel cannot do for money.
Money.
And
For money.
yeah, there really is, the sky is the limit for money, and it's hilariously expensive. And it's not like they're upping the charge for us or anything. It's just, it is a insane cost that they ask to do that.
Have you
Or,
offered
yeah.
them a Bork mark?
I agree. Only $8.
Only $8. I will say our hotel really likes us, and they do a lot for us. It's just some things are currently outside of our budget.
That's totally understandable.
I love that their hotel has a self-contained inebriation device. I take the elevator from the bottom to the top floor, and if I get sick, I stop drinking for the evening.
You look down a lot, don't you?
Right.
I'm gonna.
Is this
What?
Aurora Borealis? We've got the
Oh
Aurora
my-
Borealis happening right now in game.
Oh no, it's I don't. It's not. It's a galaxy. It's stars, not a Northern Light situation. But I guess Borkern Lights.
Borkern Lights.
I didn't like that one as much. I really reached for that one. Like you would the stars. Anyway.
What were you starting to say, Kate?
Oh, I was just gonna close out the question by letting chat know that the schedule is up, subject to change slightly. But if you have a particular game or runner that you may be interested in, definitely check out the schedule and see what's there. Stop by or see what it converts to in your local time zone if you're not able to make it in person.
Meet me
Yeah,
in real life and give me a handshake if you're comfortable with that.
Do it during the run.
I don't have a runner. I don't have a run there.
Just stand there right in front of them and insist that they shake your hand before you'll leave, shortly before security tackles you off stage.
I will make it a bit during the opening ceremony to shake hands with just a stranger on the stage, as if I'm handing them the keys to the city or like the scissors to open the ribbon. And I have zero to do with setting up this event.
I just want to add two things real quick. One, the schedule command I just did in chat, that link should automatically convert to your current time zone, whatever it is on your system. So that's helpful. And two, speaking of the schedule, if you end up not catching a run live that you really wanted to see, everything from the event will be highlighted on our Twitch channel and then also uploaded to our YouTube channel. So don't worry if you can't watch something live. You won't miss out on it forever.
I'm glad we had a lot to talk about during this.
You're underwater.
Yeah, a lot of normal gameplay. We're in the Dragon Palace now, my home.
The lost city of Borklantis.
Womp.
Why am I still here?
Chat, name your favorite game of all time, but you have to put Bork in it somewhere.
Bork Fables. It's so easy.
Bork Fable?
Bork Fable!
Let's go.
Final Fantasy Crystal Borkicles.
So now we're in the Ice Dragon, or the Water Dragon. Ice is just water in a different shape. And I really like this area because of the fun fact where you might recognize it if you've been paying attention. This area is very similar to Hana Valley. You know, the area I was at the beginning where we were pushing the ball. You could almost say it's a mirror of it. Almost 1-to-1. So that's fun. Fun fact.
Wait, did they actually just reuse the map?
Yep. This is a reverse map of Hana Valley from the very beginning. And you can tell, like, this is where the sun wall painting would be. And, like, the climb up here and the wall with the door.
I would never notice that because I'm not very bright.
I only knew it because I was told. I also didn't notice that. But you can tell, like, there's the orb. Like, that's where the tree is.
Oh, yeah, no, I see it now.
Yep. So I've ruined this area for you. Or improved it. Who knows? That's up to you to decide.
Yeah, because I totally remember this area exists when I think about this game.
The water dragon?
Yeah.
I remember it. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. That's why
I am. I don't.
Whoosh. R/whoosh. I remember it because of the RNG for the second half.
Oh, great.
Which we'll hopefully not lose to. We're gonna see. This is the RNG run. I'm gonna say it right now. This run as the preview run with the only RNG segment being right in here in about 2 minutes. This will foretell a vision of how everyone else's runs will go during the marathon.
This is giving me real Jabu Jabu vibes right now.
Very
Right?
much, yes.
Ooh, that made me uncomfortable.
Yep.
Screaming frog, let's go!
So, you know what makes you more uncomfortable? There is a boneless strategy to doing that, and some people do that without a healing item. I am too scared to do that.
Yeah, that water, you both have your normal air swimming meter, and you're getting your health drained?
Yep, because it's like acid. It's stomach acid. So it's eating away at you.
I love how dynamic explosions are in this game. The enemies just go everywhere.
Yeah, exploding into money and ink. But that's going to be how I fight enemies for the rest of the game. And actually, I'm going to do this right now so I don't forget. Alright, this is the RNG section, where the acid's falling down and we have to escape. And it's RNG because you gotta make a jump over here, and you can't tell where the acid's at, so... We win the game. Sweet. Bork's in the chat?
Let's go.
Bork? And if you get hit by that, you like fall. You can get hit midair during that and fall in the water, and then it's just depressing. But, but that didn't happen, which is cool. Right, we're about to do a bunch more skips here soon because we're coming up on the next big dungeon.
Is next the island?
Yes, we're going to the island next.
I love the island.
I also love the island. It's a shame that you're not gonna see much of it.
I know.
Sad face.
It's okay. This is the best track in the game. Don't at me. I will fight you. Not really. But I will think about it.
Looking at the color palettes of this game as we're going through these different sections, which, by the way, this vibe of this area is tripping me out right now.
Yeah, with like the water overlay.
What is everyone's favorite color, and has it changed from what it used to be?
So my favorite color is like a lavender purple, like my Twitch color is right now.
Ooh! I appreciate that. I actually really like lavender as a color.
It's been my favorite for a while, but I know before I was a big purple fan. I was, and still am, I'd probably say it's my second favorite color now. Also a big green fan, especially like lighter greens, like mint greens.
Green is pretty rad.
Mint green.
I was a forest green for the longest time, and then it slowly changed to blue. I don't know if that was a Sonic Mega Man thing or what, but I am like... Every year when I go through my shirts and figure out which ones to get rid of and which ones to donate, like 75-80% of my shirts are some form of darker blue. And there was a shirt I got given recently. I won't go into detail, but I was ecstatic when I found out that shirt was going to be dark blue. I was super happy.
I similarly am a blue kind of guy, but I actually like the lighter blues.
Like teal blue or baby blue?
Like this, like cyan kind of blue.
Okay.
It's almost like it's the color of my dragon.
Yeah.
The highlight color. Sorry, right here. You see him? You see me?
Yeah.
There, yeah. Rocking my merch that I don't sell because I don't sell merch.
I genuinely don't think I have a favorite color.
That's fair.
Like, I really don't, and that question stresses me out, because I'm like, well, I like this one sometimes, but for this specific reason, but if it's in this instance, then I actually really prefer this color, so I just like pretty colors.
That's because you have two different eye colors. You're like a rainbow shrimp. You see so many more colors than the rest of us that it's just overwhelming for you.
Oh,
It's
you have
true.
heterochromia?
One of my eyes is half blue, half brown, yes.
Oh, that's sick.
Did you
It's
know,
the
unfortunately, they discovered the rainbow shrimp does not see extra colors.
What?
Yeah.
That
I
is
was-
I read a whole article about this. It was like, who is taking the time to study this in the first place?
I was
Man,
gonna make a joke
Man,
about
I don't
the
want to
mantis
learn
shrimp,
that.
not the
I don't want to
same.
learn that kind of depressing thing. I just want to go back to quizzes that tell me what flavor of Pop-Tart I'm most like.
Yeah, right.
Well, which one?
All right.
It's cinnamon, right? Everybody just loves the cinnamon Pop-Tarts,
No,
right?
the Madagascar wildberry. Are you kidding me?
Are you guys ready for the
Yes.
lava skip a second time?
All right, let's go.
Let's go!
Lava skip to Electric Boogaloo.
Uh-oh.
No.
So, I might have jumped a bit late by accident, so I have to get my dash back.
That was a practice run, it's okay.
That one didn't count. I actually pumped my fist with you guys and cheering, so it didn't. That one didn't count. That wasn't a try. Oh. Nailed it.
Oh my
Always had it, never didn't have it.
First try.
First try.
First try.
First try.
That might be the tightest I've ever had it, but it's fine.
If you win, you know?
Yeah, we take those. All right, don't give me rolling row. No, we got rolling row.
Oh, she is rolling.
He rolls.
Bork souls.
Oh, she's rolling again. Get out of here. Got her. All right, to the island.
To the island.
To
To the island.
The raft.
Sorry, that caught me off guard the way you said that. The raft.
Sora.
That was Sora.
Yeah, the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1. They're worried about the raft. Anyways.
Play Kingdom Hearts.
No! You ruined it.
Uh-oh. Here we go. We're doing this one.
Oh no.
That is what.
That's okay. This is easier than going forward because the spacing on the curtains is different, so it's not that bad.
If it's the same distance, how does it end up being different?
So when you're jumping from the beginning platform,
Oh, because of the door.
because of the curtains in the middle.
Right.
So the separation of the curtains is different, but the distance itself isn't. So jumping backwards is way easier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But now we're just running to the island. So this will take a minute. So what other
deep personality questions do we have?
I don't know. Maybe actually, wouldn't it be a good time to do like another?
I was about to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Blurb?
I have a good personality question. What's your favorite charity to donate to at FWA 2023?
Oh man,
My
well, you know-
favorite. Sean, do we
You
have the
did
same
it last
favorite charity?
time. You did it last time.
Okay,
My
go.
favorite. Well, my favorite charity is the one that I think it's the Anyway, it's the Animal Park at the Conservators Center. Animal Park, in case you guys didn't know, it's a non-profit, independent zoological park located in Burlington, North Carolina. That's right, they make more than coat factories. Whose mission is to educate people, care for animals, advocate for species. The park's mission statement, basically, they believe that people are more likely to become invested in conservation and wildlife preservation for a species after meeting them and learning about their inherent value, which is something I totally agree about. It just hits different when you see these animals in person, when you experience them live. To learn more about the park's animal ambassadors, you can visit www.animalparknc.org/about/residents. Now that's to meet their ambassadors. You can just go to animalparknc.org for the main website. but I didn't realize they also had ambassadors that you could meet. I'm gonna check out this link like right now while you guys are talking about stuff.
You must. They have binturongs.
I also would like to offer the fruits of my own research. Burlington Coat Factory did not originate from Burlington, North Carolina.
Oh,
It originated
okay.
from Burlington Township in New Jersey.
The more you know.
Rainbow.
All right, so their ambassadors at the animal park include the dingo, the binturong, the coyote, the caracal, the Eurasian lynx, the fennec fox, Jeffrey's cat, or Geoffroy's cat. Anyway, some guy named Jeffrey is missing his cat now. The domestic cat, the common green iguana, who looks like he's wearing an elf-like costume. The ring-tailed lemur, the serval, the striped skunk, and the New Guinea singing dog.
I like that it's insinuated that Jeffrey's new cat is not domestic.
It's literally called Lepardus geoffroyi.
Jeffrey. So it's a leopard.
I like the idea of if somebody has a pet, that person's pet is endangered because it's the only pet that person has.
Why do you like the idea of an endangered animal?
No, that's not what I mean. Okay. I like the idea.
No context.
I like the idea that you could classify my dog as endangered because it's the only one I have.
It is the only recorded Lori's dog.
Yes, exactly.
The only record.
All right, who said their favorite area was Oni Island?
That was me.
Yeah, we're jumping around it.
I really like the
you get
outside
to
of this
see.
island, don't worry.
Yeah, it's great. I love
My favorite part of
this
the island. Leaving.
rock face. Yeah. So we did a very specific jump to skip the lava tower, which requires the lava ability, which we never got.
This is from... Go ahead.
And then we bonked out of bounds, so we can just climb the tower or the island, because funnily enough, it loads this outside area to the side, all the way from back here. So we're just gonna go straight to the brush technique and just skip the whole of the island, basically.
This section just reminds me of when I missed a jump in Super Mario 64 and I was trying in vain to get back up the slide, so I didn't have to run all the way up the mountain again.
Oops.
That is such a visceral childhood memory for me.
Yeah, that's a core memory I think you just unlocked in a lot of people.
You really played Mario 64 if you haven't, like, run into a slope for 20 minutes hoping you could climb it.
Or spent like 3 extra minutes trying not to fall into a death pit just to lose anyway. But it was about the attempt. It was about the trial.
It's on principle.
Spending a whole 30 seconds wall jumping in the big hole in Hazy Maze Cave.
Yeah!
Oh, I messed up. Whoops. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. So that was most of Oni Island skip. And now we're going to do something called Awesome Skip. I don't know why it's called that, but it's pretty awesome. And I'll show it to you right now.
I love speedrunning skip names very much.
Yeah, this game has quite a few good ones. I almost got it first try. That would have been cool.
That would have been
this-
awesome.
This wall likes to... I see what you did there. This wall likes to just shove you into the wall there. And then you can just kind of jump out. And if you jump correctly, unlike I did just there, you can just kind of go out of bounds.
Man, I hate when dogs just randomly fall out of the wooden beams of my house. It's so frustrating.
Yep, and then they get in your walls.
I have so many dogs. Help.
I thought it was awesome.
It's like one of those mouse exterminator ads. It's like, do you hear patterns in your walls? You could have sun gods living in your roof.
Multiple sun.
You could have some...
What do you do about that?
I don't. It keeps my expenses low in the winter.
Yeah, guess so.
Rah, rah,
Oh,
rah.
I missed the cycle.
Gosh darn it.
I don't know if you noticed the pattern, but I tend to bork when
We bork at what we don't understand.
Yeah, when I gotta wait for a second, I just bork. And this is the most important part of the run, actually, is what we're about to do here in the next room, because there's for all who has played the game, there's this nice slip that you race with. His name is Toby, and you have to race him, and at the end, his job is complete and he dies, and it's heartbreaking.
That's very sad.
So this is the most important. He's a little demon slip, and when you beat him in his last race, he admits defeat and then dies. So this next skip in the room we're about to do is the most important because it skips Toby and therefore saves him.
Save the animals, but in parentheses next to animals, it's sentient piece of paper.
He is kind of just a sentient piece of paper, yeah.
But
But
great.
he is the
Still a
best
better
friend.
character than, like, I don't know. I don't know what series I want to throw shade at, but he's a better character than a lot of that series.
Yeah, that one.
That nondescript series.
That one. It's funny. It's also like we're the hero that doesn't wear a cape because in the run we never actually see Toby, but we know that he's safe.
I like him because his name sounds like toe beans.
Oh beans.
God,
Toe beans, the slip of paper.
that's my new mascot.
All right, so now we're gonna do another trick. This is how we save Toby, and it's by.
Can you get a picture of his feet? I want to see the
Getting
toe beans.
Getting a better camera angle of what I have.
It's a piece of paper.
There it is. Okay. There's you can't see it, but there's a vine up here, and we're gonna use that. And we're just gonna kind of clip through this wall. Oh, it didn't work.
Come on, you got to do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine. Here we go. Much better angle. Okay. Through the wall, and then we're just gonna clip that and bonk. And we're through. And Toby has been saved by skipping that gate.
Nice.
Let's all round of applause for Toby.
Bork for toe beans.
Bork for toe beans. I have to rename my my split now for that.
Yes! See, okay, you can
Hashtag
create the
save
check
toe
bork.
beans.
Yeah, and now we have toe beans.
We have to save him with toe beans.
I love that we've brought both toe beans and Screaming Frog into this universe in the span of 2 hours.
This
Now,
is
what
pretty
are-
important.
So this is the boss that I was talking about earlier. That's my favorite. I also like that you summon them with the brush like a normal celestial god.
Now, is this normal or Hisuian?
This is the Hisuian.
No, a Alolan. Come on, get your Pokemon
It's
right.
Galarian, actually.
It's not
Is it
British.
really?
It's
No,
not
wait.
British.
Oh no. Wait. I thought it was Alolan Ninetales. Isn't that the variant?
Yes, that
It
is.
is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh. I got unlucky there, and they decided to just push the bomb aside. That was the worst camera angle I've ever seen in my whole life. Okay.
Ninetales just wants belly rubs.
True. Okay, and this is what the rest of the game fights are going to look like here in a second.
Yeah, this is my favorite turn-based RPG. Where it's always your turn.
It's always.
It is always your turn when you have items.
It's like late game SMT.
All right, and then now we're actually almost done. We're gonna head to Kamui, the snow area, which is very short because we skip most of it. I don't even remember what all the stuff. I remember there's the door in the forest, and then there's like Isun's home and all that.
And
And
also,
we're
like,
just
the long road.
yeah, and we're skipping all of it.
Also, the dungeon. Don't forget the dungeon.
That's the only thing we aren't gonna skip is the dungeon.
Oh, true. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, speaking of snowy areas, here's my personality quiz question for you guys. So when it comes to like video game areas that have a specific ambiance or like an environment, you got your snowy area, you have the water level, the jungle, the desert. What is your favorite?
Definitely snow.
I also
You're at-
like snowy areas.
You're asking what kind of area, like a forest or a mountaintop or something like that, or what type of weather?
Yes, like a quintessential video game area one would find.
How specific can I get?
As specific as you want.
Train levels?
Oh,
Train levels are cool.
Have you played the second Paper Mario game?
Thousand Year Door? Yes.
Yeah, that's got a good train level.
That's got a really good train level. I also think about a Hat in Time's train a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both of its train levels, actually.
This is a good question. My favorite terrain probably has to be, because this usually happens in like it's either the beginning of the final act or towards the end of the second act of a game, because the area that it takes place in feels like a great traversal from like the land that you know to the one that is, fallen apart and been corrupted. But I think of like, what's the Cosmo Canyon in Final Fantasy? I think of one of the labyrinths in Etrian Odyssey. The general theme being that it's a mountainous region where most of your walking is done on pathways made in cliff sides. It's not through the cliffs themselves, but it's a pathway where on one side is the cliff face and the other side is just a steep drop into foggy clouds below. Does
And
that
then
make sense?
aggro falls off the cliff.
I didn't see that part of the movie, so maybe if we'd had Draconayr do a skip, we could have saved him.
True, yeah.
Yeah, you could have saved aggro. Is that the Shadow of the Colossus horse?
Yeah, it's the Shadow of the Colossus horse, yeah.
I thought it was Argo.
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Never-Ending Story.
No, that's Artax.
Yeah.
I am 0 for 3 on old references today.
Oh man.
Listen, don't mention that. I don't want to think about the word tax this month, okay?
I was gonna make a joke about taxes, but
On the subject of like,
Oh no.
I guess area themes, I really enjoyed the themes in Nier Automata, the
Oh
my
destroyed cities
God.
overcovered with old growth, and that's probably one of my favorite games of all time. So pretty.
Nier Automata is wonderful.
Also, I love games that can do rainy areas well, where the rain doesn't feel annoying, but it's like pretty and the music's usually good. I like that stuff.
mhm.
I feel that.
I like those chill vibes.
I also really like what you were saying, Cinders, like abandoned kind of like cities or like
Mm-hmm.
big structures in particular. This
Yeah.
one's kind of a weird spot, but Risk of Rain 2's DLC added this stage that's like this like very rundown old like religious sanctuary.
Yeah,
My
I love
favorite
Risk
stage
of
in
Rain
that game.
too.
Please, game. Okay, we're just gonna refresh here. Sorry, this brush likes to fight me, so
That's
Get
the true
the
end boss,
one,
is the
two.
brush.
yeah. I practiced this one specifically, and I just apparently today is not the day.
Today's not the day for things you practiced. It's the thing.
Apparently, except for the tablet skip with the
Correct.
lava. I nailed that one.
Used up all your luck right there.
Yeah. Well, that was just skill.
Oh, right. Correct.
So it doesn't count. Please. Trying to get to the rock. Man, this is just fighting me.
You know when you're struggling at something in a game, and you catch yourself like stressing your body in that direction, like if you were to like physically push your head that way, like I'm gonna do it.
Like when you're playing a crane game and you clench your butt every time it starts to lift up because you're hoping that'll help it keep the item in place.
Yeah, it's that the flexing of your buttocks is going to give the claw more strength. That's why you gotta work the glutes.
Never skip leg day. Your crane game might need it.
That's why going to round 1 arcades is the best for my my Kegels that I've ever done.
There we go.
Nice.
We got there. It took a few tries, but we got there.
It's like, wow, why are your thighs so toned? I really wanted that stuffed animal.
Needed it.
Also, I don't know if we fully explained context. These big trees are like all throughout the game, and they usually clean an area of corruption, which is like it lets you do things in the area.
Which we've seen 0 of. I don't think I've done like any standing in corruption.
Yeah.
Except for when I came out of the building that didn't exist yet in the city.
Oh yeah.
But what this is there's a forced fight to the left with a igloo monster, and we just skipped that by opening that flower and just running past it. So that's why we do that little jump there.
I like to imagine some of these bosses are still sitting there in their boss areas. We're like, where are they?
Where? I hope they're okay. Like stare at their watch.
Man, it's been a while.
It's funny because Orochi is like such a big deal, and you just skip him, so probably, you know, he probably got his way, you know.
The legend says I should be dead by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Where's the swordsman like sitting there with the girl that shot the arrow, or the decided girl, and is just like, well, that's weird. They're just gonna let me do it. All right, cool. And yeah, cool. I win. Now it's time for some more out of bounds. I feel like a quarter of this game is just going around stuff. Oh, that was close. Oh god. Remember that butt clenching thing you were talking about? Just did it. Just did it.
well, obviously it helped you
All right.
do better in games.
200 more and you'll be ready for the Ring Fit Adventure speed run.
I don't have my fursuit yet, though. I can't do that. I'll have to leave it to the pros.
I don't appreciate that you just gave me the mental image of a fursuit that can do Kegels.
That sounds like a you problem. That was not my intention. You did that to yourself. I don't know.
Figure it out.
Yeah, sorry, bud. I don't... All right, we're in the final push here. There's this last dungeon, and then the final bosses. So we're coming up on the end here, and there will be a lot of tricks. Kind of.
What's your personal favorite out of the remaining tricks?
Out of the remaining tricks, there is a way to skip most of the dungeon to get to the room with the cannons, which normally you have the brush ability that slows down time to deal with, but we don't have that, so we have to improvise, and that's probably fun to do. That one holds a special place in my heart, because the world record person came into the stream while I was learning the game, and they said, "Get ready to die to this room." It's like it's a trial by fire, rite of passage. And then I was like, "No, I'm gonna get it first try." And I bet 5 gift subs, and I did it first try, and they were like, "I've never seen someone do that on their first try before." So, and then I can't do it as well anymore because I body. So you'll see the room when it comes up. But right there, what we just did to get in here is there's a flower to the side, and if you are standing when you use a vine, and it like doesn't pull you all the way. Actually, it might work anyway. I don't remember. I think it works anyway. After a vine, there's a opportunity to jump. So I vine and have it pull me up because there's a wall in the way. And then when the vine ends, I jump around an invisible wall and just go through the wall to get in here instead of going through the rest of the whole mountain area. And then we do another brush adventure to get past the door. And this will be a very short. What's the timer at?
Around 2:07.
If I play like a god, I could possibly PB.
Are you not playing as a god currently?
Well,
Touche.
Only a demigod.
I don't think that's true. I think Amaterasu is just a god.
yeah, no, Amaterasu is just the sun god.
Just yeah. We'll see. This room and I have a special relationship. Okay, we got it. It's fine.
It's chill.
It's a negative. It's a negative special relationship.
I figured.
Those cannons tend to snipe me out of midair.
It's like a love-hate relationship, but like just the hate part.
Yeah. So, remember when I said we didn't have the slowdown power?
You lied again?
Well, not really. We don't have the slowdown power. But we have a different power that does almost to the same thing.
What is this crab rave going on over here?
Yeah, they're crab raven. They're just having a good time. They're moving around because it's cold, and they don't want to die of frostbite.
They're on fire.
They're exactly, because they're moving so
crabs
fast.
are on fire!
Have you never been cold and just lit yourself on fire?
Good point.
Well, they became on fire because they were moving so fast.
Look at this guy.
Oh no, I slid into the cutscene. Ice physics!
Look at this guy who can afford to light himself on fire after paying his monthly expenses. Ooh, big spender. The horn's just going with snow.
I have to wait a second for my ink to come back because we're playing slot machines. There we go. Perfect.
Is the normal way of doing this just hoping for the best?
No, it's
So
having the time stop.
Exactly.
Oh.
The normal way of doing that is having the time slow ability. And that's the last brush technique that we're gonna get. And normally, what the game says is when you get all 13 brush abilities, you get the new weapon. The game lies to you because it only looks to see if you have Blizzard. Because I have the new weapon, but I only have like 7 of the brush techniques. So, fun fact. So now I have a new weapon. There's your weapon change, just
Thank
for
you.
you. And now we're gonna do the cannon room. You see that room way over there? We're gonna jump to it.
Why is it always snowy landscapes that tend to be one of the last areas? Why can't we have like the forest as the last spot?
That's a good question. Precedent?
I'm trying to think of a good reason.
There we go. First try, let's go.
I'm trying
Alright.
to think of games where it's not true, and I'm having a hard time.
One of the only games I can think of where the most notable forest is later than the most notable cold area is like Super Mario World. But that forest is like really mean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, chat's got one. Pikmin 2.
Oh, true. Yeah, you start in the ice area there.
Let's go. Okay. Sean wants to be sipping martinis on the beach. No, I am a mimosa fiend. Give me OJ and champagne, and then just take the OJ away.
Okay,
But
so
isn't
this is
that
the
just a glass of champagne?
But it's the concept. Anyway, you were saying, Draconayr?
this is the cannon room that I was talking about, and basically the problem here is that we don't have the slowdown ability, so we have to use this ability to like fake slowdown, and I'm having trouble not getting hit. Is the problem. And we want to... The problem is when you use the ability, it takes a second for you to be able to brush again. Where'd the orbs go? Okay, we got it. So you have to time when you use the ability, and then try to not die. Leave me alone. Which is why I say phrase to get health there. So that was one of the more rough attempts I've had at that room, but we got through it, so it's fine. That's probably the trick right behind the lava tablet skip. That's the hardest.
And it's so far in too.
Yeah, that's at the end. And the other thing is, for the runs of this game, if you die, you cannot save for a valid run. So if you die, you lose the run. But there's a couple of ways to get, to make sure you don't die, like healing with the praise, and then there's also the pouch that revives you if you die once, if you have enough food. So if you get that far and you get kind of screwed or unlucky, then it's a rough time, because it's like at the end. Oh, well, I just lost my dash. Okay, well. This has been a very subpar showing of this dungeon. Oh, man. Maybe I'll make up for it in the Orochi fight.
You got this.
No! Do I? I do! Run into the fire, still keep my dash. That's all that matters. And that's the end of the dungeon, because we're about to fight the boss. What's your favorite turn-based game, but it's always your turn?
Octopath Traveler? Both of them.
Turn-based game, but it's always my turn. Kate has seen this happen. So there's this Slay the Spire type game called Super Bullet Break, and Kate watched me do like the ultimate post-game bonus dungeon, which is supposed to be supremely unfair. And because of the deck build that I had, the true final boss never actually got to attack. I just permanently delayed them or skipped their turn or brought mine sooner, and I took down 7,000 health with cards that did 10 damage, and they never got to do anything.
Kind of like what I just did just now.
That's exactly it. I'm glad that we practiced this during the warm-up.
Okay.
I think the most recent boss I fought in Octopath 2, they literally did not get a turn before I beat them.
Alright, it's boss rush time.
Yes.
So we get to see all the bosses that we skipped.
You never truly skipped them.
No, I did not. We just only have to fight them once.
Oh, this arena is
and
cool.
Or spend all our money on the items and just destroy all the bosses. All right, and then because of how the final boss works, at this point, it's kind of an auto-scroller. In terms of time, it'll be about 15 minutes. The only time that will be relevant is Orochi, which is the boss after this guy. Because all the other ones are basically exactly the same and very static, especially the final boss.
Forgot this guy was a boss.
Yeah, I tend to as well. That was close. I almost did not one cycle that. But yeah, that's all. That's another dungeon we skipped. We skipped about half the dungeons, I'd say.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, out of the 5 bosses in this area that you refight, quote unquote, have you fought any of them?
Ninetales.
Right.
That's it though. We skipped all the other ones. I was only able to skip Spider Queen because I got the half blue skip, though, where we swam in the river. Yeah, with the cabbage, with the bear cabbage. Because we could go in later, we didn't have to fight Spider Queen to get out.
Okay.
I guess you don't have to fight Spider Queen, or you have to fight Spider Queen so that you can get the event where the river event with Susano. Oh, I missed that guy. That's unfortunate. Okay. Bad Orochi. I guess it power slashed instead of getting the water. So here's a fun way that this boss works. Normally, only one head at a time can do stuff. But for some reason, if you have the Earth Head stun himself, other heads can do stuff too, so you can get all 3 at once.
Huh.
And then now the second half of this boss fight is just positioning to abuse the attack patterns of the bosses, and also not getting set on fire.
A very important task.
Yeah, mostly the fire one. This is where the 2 spots where health is a big deal is Cannon Room and then this boss. And then once we do 4 heads, we can immediately kill those 4. And then we'll do the same thing again. And then this is kind of RNG too with where the fire is landing. So we just kind of hope. And then this is where the other ink stone is for, in case you run out of ink, because I just did. And that's Orochi. The hardest of the refights. And then these last 3 are very easy because it's the Spider Queen, and Ninetales is actually weaker in this rendition for some reason. Not sure why, but it just has less health, so it'll only take 2 scrolls to murder instead of the 4.
Pretty significant.
Is this a boss you're going to need to talk much about? Because I actually have another question.
No,
All right.
there's not a lot of talking until final boss.
Makes sense. So I actually have a question for you, Cinders, because we are, as we've mentioned before, the fastest furs, we are going to be in the game room. Do you want to talk a little bit about other things in the game room? And kind of
Sure.
what that whole room is? Because obviously that's going to be a big part of we're going to be there, but for those that don't know what else the game room offers, I definitely want to hear about it.
So just VGR, we will have Save Point. Save Point does arcade cabinets, mostly Japanese, though I've seen a lot of their gear. We got some really cool stuff, some more classic American style cabs as well. Other than that, we'll have the group is called Baz LLC, and the United Gaming League. United Gaming League is going to supply us with switches. They're going to supply us with 4 index. I was about to say the Vive index. Combine 2 companies at once. The Valve index. So we'll have that. Baz will have 10 Quest setups. So we're going to have VR on point as well. This is not actually in the game room, but if you remember last year, we did the VR portal where you could see your VR friends who could make it to FWA. That'll also be not in the game room, but just thinking about VR in general. The other thing that is only going to be a one-time thing, we're kind of stepping back into the past, where board game room and video game room are going to be in the same space.
Ooh, cat fight.
No, I don't think we want to do that.
No, it's not really a cat fight. We are in a much larger space than we've ever been in before. The ballroom that I occupied last year, in total, I believe, is 16,000 square feet, and the ballroom that Board Game took up is 11,000 square feet. The room we now occupy is 28,000 square feet.
Wow.
Oh, so grand total, you have another 1,000 still.
Yes, we have a lot of room, and we are going to utilize every square inch. It's going to feel pretty packed. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Also, Blazin asking in chat for the arcade games, do you have the washing machine game?
The washing machine game. Can you describe it?
I have an idea in mind, because I think I've been to events with it before. I think it's a rhythm game where the cabinet is like, there's like a circle screen.
Uh-huh. Oh, that you touch along the edges?
Yeah.
Okay, so that I am not sure of. I know what you're talking about. Snow Phoenix had one. No, it wasn't Snow Phoenix. That was Tokyo Attack before they disintegrated. And it was funny when Tokyo Attack came, they were actually very excited because they had just acquired 2 of those. And you don't have, they're tactile, but they don't need your fingers. You can do that with gloves. So it was playable in fursuit.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was a really neat game. And if you loved what we had last year, I see in chat, Save Point is going to blow it out of the water.
I'm so excited. What are the game room hours? Do you know yet?
The same hours that y'all are allowed to stream. Actually, no, I believe that, so Ashitaka is a machine. I don't believe they actually sleep. I've never seen them do it, so there's no proof. But I think we're opening at 10 a.m. or it's either 10 or 11 a.m. every day because they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I like to sleep.
I'm gonna have to make a point of checking it out. Like, I always get so distracted by other panels and like Artist Alley at FWA that I never actually check out the things that you wouldn't think to go to, like the arcade room or stuff like that. But after hearing this pitch, I needed to spend a day and check out every room at least once, just so I can say that I gave it a chance.
Oh, if I can preen for just a minute, this is a totally unbiased opinion, but no other furry con, and honestly, very few anime or larger cons than us have the same game room or even board game room. We have the largest board game room in the Southeast, period. End of story.
That's so cool.
Exciting.
All right, final boss.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go!
And this is very scripted. So
Lend him your Bork power, chat.
yes, everyone bork for me.
Borks in chat.
Praise
your
the
hands to
sun
the
god.
sky.
No. Raise your toe beans.
Raise your toe beans.
Everybody laying on the ground.
Okami.
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 I hate it. I hate it. Oh my god.
Come on, Tokami, defeat the boss.
Why are you like this?
Stop.
Because you don't pay me.
What? Okay.
I am beholden to no contract. So is it that as you beat the boss or defeat each phase, it gives one of your powers back?
Yes, so he steals all your powers at the beginning, and each phase gives you 3 powers.
And then do you immediately have to use the power you got back to hit the next part, or?
Not necessarily. It's based on damage. So there's damage thresholds where he'll get stunned, like right now, and then he'll give it to you. And as long as he gives all 3 to you, then you can hit him and lower his health to get him to the next phase.
Potentially stupid question that I want to ask anyway, because I think it's funny. Is he giving you back the powers you skipped?
Yes.
Awesome.
The only one I'll have to use is right now. So there's a very particular pattern to this that I have not memorized, so I have my notes up, and I'm literally following a script right now.
He's like, here's your firepower, and you're like, wait a minute, this is just Blizzard colored red. And he goes, shh.
Yeah. But he does give you back all the power. So there's 4 phases, and then you get 3 brushes per phase. So it ends up with all the ones.
Renark, I can't actually answer that question because Ashitaka decides literally everything that we do at con. I only handle things that are outside.
Oh god, fired. Oh, I'm fired.
Hot dog, hot dog.
Hot dog! Oh god, I'm on fire again!
Oh no!
That's okay. I'm not losing time because I'm just waiting for him to fall.
With Draco being on fire, this is your reminder if you plan to travel to Atlanta for FWA, it's hot.
Is it gonna be hot? Oh gosh.
It's gonna be hot.
It's been gross and rainy where I live for like more so than usual for a while, and I've been like, I hope it's cold until after the 15th.
I wish.
Oh,
I wish it was cold here.
Oh, Atlanta is also gross and rainy. It's just also hot.
Great.
It probably won't be gross and rainy specifically over FWA weekend, but it can. It's Georgia. Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I remember.
It's gross and rainy during summer, but summer is over half the year.
We were supposed to have the quote-unquote coldest winter ever, and then it was miserable.
Tell me about it. Please don't, I was there.
What I've been really sad about, I work in Norcross, just like a couple of miles from the FWA office, which you can Google, by the way. If you Google FWA office, that is a place. But yeah, it's been really exciting for me because, like, oh, it's not sweltering out yet. Maybe FWA won't be super hot, but I know, like, doesn't matter what's going to happen the weekend of FWA, it will shoot up into the 90s. It's just the only way it happens.
All right, we're gonna come up on time here after this final phase.
What are we gonna do with the bonus 20 minutes?
Who knows?
Play it again.
Yeah, man. You
Start
gotta
over.
commit to the bit. You gotta commit to the bit.
I'll do it, bet.
Please, no. Please.
Please don't.
No, Shockwave. This is about being able to handle unexpected
All right.
situations.
And time is coming up now. That's when I do time, but we use in-game time, so it's not a big deal. That's it. We did it. We beat the game. Hooray!
Yay!
Oh, they are.
232. That's much better than my last marathon run. I think my other one came out to like 245 or something.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was
Yeah,
very
nicely
good. Yes.
done.
Yes. Thank you. I practiced a lot.
You only got one stamp, though.
That's the skin. Those are the skins that you get.
Oh, okay.
So that's the.
Wait, why are we skinning a dog?
No, you apply a skin to the dog.
Oh,
I don't know if that's better.
why would I take another dog's skin and put it on that dog?
It's fine. Don't question it.
It's a dog.
It's a reward, so that's all that
dog
matters. Dog.
Dog God is a palindrome.
How close were to look how close we were on time. 2:32, 25, 26.
Wow, the in-game timer is accurate.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I didn't know games could have accurate in-game.
Wait a minute, that means that's because you didn't get time stop. If you'd gotten time stop, you would have saved some
Oh,
frames.
you're right. I could have just finished the game in under an hour. Silly me.
Silly you.
Speedrunning genius, Sean.
Guess we'll have to start over. All right, well that's the game. There was a lot of casual hanging out, which I liked, and then I got the cool tricks this time, which is really all I wanted. So, go me!
Go you!
Go you.
And I can't wait for other people to play just as well as I did at Furry Weekend Atlanta
I can't promise
with
that.
all the other stuff. Sorry, I'm only here to do the runner. I don't know the spiel.
No, you're good. If folks in chat, if you enjoyed this run, definitely consider either coming out to FWA if you're able to make it, or checking it out via Twitch. It is available either way. It is going to be May 12th and 13th. That's a Friday and Saturday from noon to midnight, Atlanta time, both of those days. Come support the runners, the hosts, everybody who's involved with this. It is a fantastic event. First in-person live event, so we are very excited. And yeah, thank you to everyone who came out tonight. Thank you to everyone involved in this stream. If we want to kind of run back over who's who, I'll pass it back to our runner if you want to self-promote a little.
Yeah, I was gonna do it as a joke, but now you've told me to, so now I'm just gonna I'm gonna lean into it. Yes, thank you. I speedrun. This game was a recent one, and among other ones, like, follow, subscribe. What's the standard? Hit the like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Leave
Yo,
a
what's
comment.
going on? Smash the like button. No, but in seriousness, I really appreciate having the opportunity to promote your guys' event. I will be attending, but I won't have a run. I'm excited. I want to shake hands with someone on stage.
I'll volunteer.
Yeah, okay. It's pencil me in for noon on Thursday or Friday. But thank you so much. If you enjoy me First of all, thanks. Second, I have my channel. I think just got put up in there, and I stream occasionally, and I'll do speed runs and play games. My next speedrun game is going to be Spyro 2 because Spyro 1 someone else got for this run, and apparently Spyro 2 is the hardest, so that'll be like the game that I do now, because no one else will do it.
During the run for Spyro 1, the camera's just going to show you off in the corner giving them the stink eye because you wanted it to begin with and they took it from you.
I learned the run 2 weeks before submissions were ending, and then got a really good time and submitted it, and someone else just had a better time. And that's just how it goes, especially with a 24-hour event. Understandable. But there was Spyro 1, and there was Spyro 3, but there's no Spyro 2. So that slot, that's a TBD with my name on it. I also have a Spyro Kigu that I'm gonna wear when I run the second game.
Yes.
You should have waited until next year. Next year is Year of the Dragon.
I thought that was last year.
No, it's next
No, it's
year,
next
2024.
We can still do it. It's still happening.
You should
There's
do
still time.
You should do a
There's still
Spyro
time.
1, 2, and 3 combination stream where you can't stop until you've beaten all 3.
That is a category, is the trifecta.
That is
Spyro.
Spyro.
It's a lot. I mean, they're not long. It's like an hour per game. But yes, come say hi if you want to watch more of me and just me speedrunning, playing games with my brother, that kind of stuff. It's a lot of shenanigans. And thank you, team, again for setting this up and allowing me to play a game while we all promote your event. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to go and watch other people's runs in person. It'll be super awesome. Like, comment, subscribe, smash the like button.
You're good. We have also been joined by Lori D. Bunnykins on the Fastest First team. Lori, did you have anything you wanted to wrap up with?
I don't have too much other than thank you everybody who came to the showcase today, and I hope you guys all enjoyed the runs we have lined up for 3 weeks from now. I posted the little FWA command in chat. I will also go ahead and post the schedule so you guys know what time all the games you want to see are and what all the games are. I just really hope everybody enjoys it when it happens, because I know I'm like crying that it's 3 weeks and not like tomorrow.
That's a mood.
Oh, it is 3 weeks.
Yeah.
My math.
Cinders. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My math was wrong. Okay, go.
We also have had Cinders. They are on the FWA side of things. Cinders, did you have anything to close out?
I'm really excited for just to do this in real life. I love speedrunning. It's just, it's a great thing to have sitting off to the side because I'm ADHD and you can never do one thing at once. You've always got to multitask. And being able to see it live, it sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm really excited for this event.
I am super stoked as well. Again, I am Captain Kate. It has been a super huge pleasure and honor to get to do this preview event. I'm so excited to get to do this live at FWA. And of course, I have been joined by my wonderful co-host, Sonic Mega, who will raid us out.
Yes, and before I do, you guys have heard me multiple times. I say this every time, but I love this community. I love you guys so much. I love the creativity, the passion, the expressiveness that you guys have. I love the camaraderie that we have for each other. I was almost beside myself when Moonblaze first invited me to do this event because I thought I was going to have to miss it because of travel that I'm doing. I'm actually out in Michigan right now. I'm not in my home state of California. So I'm here in a hotel room on my laptop with like a basic setup just so I could be here to help run this for you guys and host it. And I'm so honored every time they bring me back. So again, a huge, huge thank you to everyone that helps make this event possible, to everyone that comes together to celebrate the gaming and speedrun communities, to FWA for putting on such a fun and wonderfully theater kid-esque event that I am so excited to go to every single year. And I hope this isn't the last time I get to do this, and I hope this isn't the last time I get to share it with so many of you that are here in the live stream voice chat with me as well. And Draconayr, thank you very much for being such a trooper and allowing all of us to joke around and have fun and distract you at times so that we could make this an event to be remembered.
Well, that's my core value is messing around. So
Right.
We support tomfoolery here.
Yeah, we're here
Right,
for
right.
fun.
And speaking of fun, what also starts with the f sound is the person we'll be rating. It is Flap. It is PHLAP. Flap is practicing for their Dust and Elysian Tail Run at Furry Weekend Atlanta in 3 weeks. And this is a game that's special to me because not only do I voice a character in it as Sanjin, who I guarantee you they're going to be skipping because that side quest is not important to the run.
Of course.
But also because it was cast and directed by none other than Devin Mack, who not only was my mentor, who raised me as basically a protege when I got into the craft, he is also now one of the voices of Sonic the Hedgehog, believe it or not. So,
Wow.
yeah, so very cool all around. So we are going to be rating Flap. We hope to see you guys in 3 weeks at FWA. As Moonblaze said, I will be there hosting. Kate will be there hosting as well. We'll be doing some greeting shifts as well. But I'm telling you guys, the con itself is a wonderful experience. The event is great, and being able to see it, be a part of it in person, is going to be something else. So I hope to see you